And good afternoon, or shall I say, still good morning. Yeah, this is Rooftop Sports, and I am covering the Mariners and the Texas Rangers game. And we'll have my friend Steve possibly joining within the next hour or so as he's at his don't quit your day job kind of moment. Now, it's been a while. Like, it has been a long time since the Colorado Rockies game, but this is now, must I say, this is now my 17th Mariners game out of 25, so I am now at a 68% attendance rate. Don't quit your day job really was a thing. I'll explain what happened. So, Rockies game, the doubleheader was all don't quit your day job. Monday was a don't quit your it's because I was playing softball. And then the 24th, oh wait, no, that was Tuesday. That was because don't quit your day job. Yesterday was don't quit your day job, and now this time I'm available, and I'll be back tomorrow as well. And hopefully the Mariners can figure out a way to win this game against the Texas Rangers, as it has been a tough series. Well, not really, but last game was a tough game for the Mariners, where Bryce Miller did not. He only gave up 2 runs, but the offense was just completely off. Like they were just not there at all. So anyways, before this game starts, which does start in the next 12 minutes, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification, and also donate if you can as well. And would like to see you guys be engaged with the show as I would like to be engaged with you. And let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Mariners. First, we got not the starting lineup, the starting pitching for the Mariners. We got Luis Castillo, the La Piedra. He is 1-4 with a 4.40 ERA. However, he had a fantastic outing against Colorado, the game that I covered. He now has 36 strikeouts and 5 walks. So it's not like, so his ratio looks really good. It's just that he just needs to not give up those runs. And he does give up a lot of hits quite a bit. He strikes out barely above the hits. And for the Rangers, we got Andrew Heaney, who has a 6.35 ERA, 15 strikeouts to 9 walks. He is not having a good season. This is a 6.35 ERA. And now let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Mariners. First, we got Julio Rodriguez. He is batting 266. As you can tell, that J.P. Crawford is not available. This is his second straight game that he is not available. He is now injured, and let's take a look and see what that injury really is, and it's not looking good. Let me take a look at J.P. Crawford's injury, shall I say. J.P. Crawford is in the IL because he does have a grade 1 strain. And according to my friend, the East Coast M's, he said this. It is said that J.P. Crawford has a grade 1 strain. Based on this timeline for this injury, it takes about 27 to 30 days to recover from this injury. With that timeline, we won't be seeing JP play in the Mariners uniform until at least the end of May or early June. And due to those recent moves at the Mariners, due to the fact that he is injured, that has gotten Leo Rivas to be called up. And they say that he could be the next Jose Caballero. And yeah, Service did say that Dylan Moore will get a bulk of the playing time at shortstop. Oof. I mean, as much as I love Dylan Moore, I like him more as a off the bench kind of role. And he did mention that Leo Rivas defense multiple times as a reason for his call up because he does have a good defense and he does have good speed. And also in a devastating fashion, Gregory Santos now is suffered on a 60-day DIL. So now that trade is starting to look really bad. I mean, the Mariners had to give up Justin Topa to get. Oh, they traded Justin Topa to get Jorge Polanco, who hasn't been playing that fantastic for the Mariners. And now Mariners gave up Prelander Baroa. And let's take a look and see how Prelander Baroa is doing right now at this time. I think looks like he is still in the minor leagues right now. Actually, he played in spring training, didn't really do much, but he is still hanging in the minors. Right now, his ERA in AAA is not good. He has a 9.28 ERA. He's 1-2. Strikeouts is 9, 12 to 9 walks. So not having a good start so far to this season. So it's not like the Mariners really lost anything out of that trade, but we did lose an outfield prospect out of it. So I don't know if he would have been of any use. It was like Zach DeLoach. And let's take a look at how Zach DeLoach is doing. Can't even look up his name. All right, here is Zach DeLoach. He's on the White Sox. He has yet to make a major league debut. He is now at 25 years old, so he's getting up there in age. Last year for Tacoma, he did hit 23 home runs with 88 RBIs, but he had 173 strikeouts in 138 games. So he is quite the strikeout machine. Reminds those look like you would think that that's like Teoscar Hernandez, but he had a 387 OBP at least. OPS was at 868, but now this year's batting 254, 342 OBP. So I mean, I guess maybe the Mariners didn't lose that much as I would have thought, but it would be nice to see if Santos can come back from that kind of injury. So, not looking too fantastic right now. And the game is going to be in about 8 minutes. And be right back. I got to get my tablet and ready to go. Until then, please enjoy this ad from Modern Exterior Solution. Or actually, let's do SeatGeek. SeatGeek. SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code ROOFTOPSPORTS to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you. All right, got my tablet. Getting some work ready to go. Yep, I really got to clean my bottom part of my desk. Just got to get my streaming fired up. And hopefully we can get more fans in today, which would be really nice. As of now, it's just saying Mariners pregame, so maybe at 11:30 is when the coverage will actually begin. So when it hits 11:30, that means I'll be able to start the game. And also, I better put that SeatGeek ad up there and ready to go. And let's keep taking a look at that lineup. And Jay Trident Podcast is asking me something, so I gotta tell him something. Trying to see if he's gonna make it to the game tomorrow. Looks like I got a lot of activity on Twitter X so far, at least getting some people to join in. Now let's take a look and see if the Mariners game is ready to go on my tablet. Yep, looks like it is. And it's really slow. Isn't that great? This is why cable's dying. Even with amazing Wi-Fi, I mean, Xfinity has just god awful servers. Like they are not fit to do like actual streaming. Like they're just not fit for it. It's just not for them. It looks like on the call today we got Dave Sims and Mike Blowers on the call today. Dave Sims was a little bit charged on Twitter X with a fan the other day. It was all over the Jared Kelnick music, and he was kind of being petty about it. It was like, calm down, man. Just leave the politics out of it. That's all I can say. That's why I'm doing stuff like this because I don't want to. I just don't want to deal with. I don't want fans dealing with his voice because some of the times he's just like totally jinxing it. But anyways, I'm glad to be doing this game for you guys. And while you get the opportunity, hit the donate button as well to help support this channel. And they're talking about JP Crawford. He is now placed on the 10-day IL, it looks like. Leo Rivas has been selected from AAA. I don't know if he's going to really play today. I don't think he is. I think maybe tomorrow is when he'll possibly make his major league debut. But man, Mariners are really scrambling through their farm system. And as exciting as their farm system really is, our best prospects are not even in AA or AAA right now. They're mostly in single A at this time, and they're all mostly like outfielders like Lazaro Montez, Johnny Farmelo. Don't forget Felmin Celestine. He's not. He hasn't even. I think he's starting in the DCL, the Dominican Republic League. I don't even know if he's going to start in the ACL, which I hope he does, so I can see some little time going into Modesto. But I think it's not until next year he'll go until he goes to Modesto. So it's going to be quite a while until the Mariners get some kind of quality shortstop. Cole Young, yeah, he's in Double A, but he is still a ways off. Jay Trident Podcast. I figured that be you. How are you doing today? I know you're on your don't quit your day job situation, but I'm glad that you'll be watching me for this game. And hopefully the Mariners they can win this game. Let's hope that they win this series because right now in the standings, let's take a look at the standings right now. Standings right now, Mariners are a half game back from the division. If the Mariners can win this game, they'll find themselves leading the division by a half game. And look at the Angels, Astros, and Oakland. They are just on a free fall. But here's the thing. I would just not doubt Houston one bit because I just don't see them going on this hole for a long time now. I do see some Astro fans that are worried right now, but I'm like, but it's the Astros. You have Jordan. You have Justin Verlander back. I heard your bullpen's not great, but come on, you guys can make up for it. Looks like Oakland's back to its free fall in their last 10 games. They're now 3-7, so it's really so as of now, if it was September, it really would be the Mariners and the Texas Rangers really fighting it out for that division. But hey, it's unfortunately only April, so it's kind of too far to say for now. And now they're on commercial break right now. And we'll be getting ready for this game. Looks like the game will be starting in just 1 minute. So let's hope everything goes well as it possibly can for the Mariners. Because I would hate it if the Mariners did lose. Like it just would not be fun to watch them lose. Because I really want them to go 2 out of 3 rather than like 1 of 3. And then all you're gonna have Mariner fans saying, "Well, at least they won 1 out of 3." No, that's just not how it rolls for me. Like let's not do that. Let's actually win these series, especially against the Texas Rangers when it's a divisional because Mariners, I mean, knowing the schedule, they don't be playing the Texas Rangers as much as they used to. So this would be a great opportunity. I know I've said that 100 times that they really should take advantage of this game. And the fact that Texas is off to also not so much of a great start either. And looks like they're showing some Walgreens commercials. Oh, looks like we got some comments. Josh going, Mariners, please do something. Christian, what's going on? Well, how's your Chicago stadium thing going? Like to know about that. Astros can do it. Mariners should be able to. You would think, right? And yep, looks like the game's about to be beginning in just moments. And I gotta wear this hat. And fans are heading into Texas. Yep, they are working on designing a new lakefront stadium around $4.5 billion. Yeah, that's just an absolute precedented amount. And now you're seeing these football stadiums. I did see the designs of that stadium. Actually, let me take a look at the designs of that stadium. Chicago Bears new stadium. It's going to be another indoor stadium because they want. I mean, I guess they're done with that Soldier Field. Wonder how old Soldier Field is now. Soldier Field, I'm pretty sure it's just a 20-year-old stadium. Oh no, Soldier Stadium is a very classic stadium. It was built in 1924, renovated in 2002 and 3. Soldier Field, home of the Chicago Bears, do what? Cheat their way to a championship? Looks like we got some fans fighting over here. Hey, Josh is a cool guy, so go easy on him, please. Please go easy on him. Don't give him that much of a hard time, buddy. Yeah, they're working on an indoor stadium. It seems like it looks like here's Andrew Heaney. He's got a four-seam fastball slider. Mariners better do take advantage of that slider because it's a 316 average overall. And now here is Julio Rodriguez, and this first pitch will be brought to you by SeatGeek. Here's the pitch, and that is right up in the middle for a strike. And we are underway here in that Texas Stadium, Globe Life Stadium. Julio Rodriguez has been picking up quite a bit, with the exception of yesterday's game where he really did struggle going 0 for 4, and he couldn't catch that home run by Adolis Garcia, who's also been one of the Mariner killers. Here is the pitch, the 1-1, and a swing and a miss, strike two. That's something you don't like to see out of Julio. And now he's down to a 1-2 count. And it looks like we're at a 1-2 count. It looks like I missed that actual first pitch. But yeah, SeatGeek, use my Rooftop Sports promo code, Rooftop Sports, to get $20 off your next purchase, especially if you're going to an Eugenio Suarez return game. Here is the 1-2 pitch by Heaney, and that is inside for a ball. Good eye by Julio Rodriguez. I guess parking's going to be a problem for the Chicago Stadium. And now here is the 2-2 pitch. Now here's a line drive, and that is going to be a base hit, and he gets right up the middle for the base hit, and he gets on base. And now we got a runner on first base. Got the leading runner at first. And now we're looking at the pitch to Mitch Haniger. Here is the pitch, and that is just outside for a strike. And now here is the 0-1, and that is outside for a ball. And now we're looking at a 1-1 pitch for Mitch Haniger. And now here is the pitch. Now here's a fly ball to deep left field, and that is just caught by the left fielder. And Julio has to go back. It had a nice exit velocity. It was a really good hit, but it just landed on the glove. I hate saying it, but talk about just unlucky. It was a good catch, though. I believe that may have been Evan Carter who made that catch. The rookie who contributed well in last year's playoff. He's on my fantasy team. Now here's Cal Raleigh, and that is going to be popped up, and immediately it's going to be 2 outs as it looks, and that's going to be caught. And that was Marcus Simeon who makes the catch. And now there's already 2 outs in just 9 pitches. Now it's back to the way it was. I really thought if that went over Haniger's, if that went over the head of Evan Carter, I think that would have been a score easily. And now here's Ty France batting cleanup, which I'm heavily against. Here's the pitch, and that is outside for a ball. Cal Raleigh's been playing very well lately. His batting average up to 260, or it was around the 260s, I believe. And now here's Ty France. He's batting 267 with 4 RBIs. Had a good start, and now he just dipped. And that is inside for a ball. Good eye on Ty France. The next batter on deck is going to be Jorge Polanco. Dylan Moore in the hole. And now we're looking at a 2-0. And now we're going to the first, and it's not in time. But yeah, about that stadium, the Oakland Stadium. Yeah, that Mount Davis made everything worse. And there's a reason they called it Mount Davis. They called it Mount Davis for a reason. Now Ty France is looking at an 0-2 so far. And now here's the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to deep right field. And that is gone. That just left the field very quickly. And now it's a 2-run home run by Ty France. And the Mariners take the lead 2-0. And that just happened right at the blink of an eye. What a hit by Ty France. And just like that, Mariners are in the lead. It was a great hit by Ty. 101 exit velocity. And Mariners are immediately on the board. The funny thing is I got the notification on my phone because Ty France is actually on my fantasy team, and I did start him. So I'm also, that gives me twice the happiness. So now it's 2-0. First home run of the season. And now here is Polanco, and that is going to be low for a ball. Mariners have got to just keep adding to it. Keep putting the pain on Andrew Heaney. And now we're looking at the 1-0 pitch. And that is going to be popped up. And that should be playable. Got Adolis Garcia. He is there. He makes the catch. And that will retire the side. But the Mariners did get a score out of a 2-run home run by Ty France. We'll be back after this timeout after a word from our sponsor, Modern Exterior Solutions. And I'm thirsty. I need water.
Modern Exterior Solutions is a fully licensed and insured full-service exterior renovations company serving Seattle and East Side communities. We know that a home is one of your most important possessions. That's why we're committed to providing high-quality, affordable home renovations for each customer's individual budget. We're diverse enough to meet the challenges of any project you put in front of us. Our workmanship minimizes the use of third-party services, and our team works together to meet all your deadlines. Anytime there's a challenge, we work with you to find a solution. We are proud to work with distributors of quality brand products with durable, ample protection from the elements for a variety of applications, including James Hardie siding and trim. Talk with us today about your project's needs, and we can help you solve all the challenges along the way.
And I am back. Yep, use that promo code Modern Rooftop for your 20% off. What do we got here? Oh yeah, they got rid of a nice view of the hills from that stadium they originally had. That's an understatement. And the view of that stadium was absolutely gorgeous. Like, I want to look at it myself. Oakland Stadium. Oh yeah. It had a really nice view of the mountains, and they just got rid of it, unfortunately. I would mess with that stadium all day. but then Mount Davis destroyed everything. They should have just kept. They should have just not renovated. Now here's to pitch to Simeon, and that is a ball. Wow, Justin Verlander, after loading the bases with a single, two walks, gets the next two guys out. Wow. Here's the pitch, and check swing. He did go, and that's going to be strike one to Marcus Simeon, who's been one of the Mariner killers in history. Here's the 1-1. Another check swing. Did he go? He did not. Marcus Simeon has 4 home runs, 18 RBIs, batting 257. Decent start. Here's a 2-1. Now here's a fly ball popped up. It's maybe blooping, and Dylan Moore makes the catch, and that's going to be one down. Dylan Moore, who's taking over for J.P. Crawford, who has suffered an injury, and he's on the 10-day IL. So it was Langford who made the catch at left field. Evan Carter's at center field. And now here is the pitch to Corey Seager, and that is a swing and a miss. They should have worked to give the Raiders their own stadium instead of renovation, most likely. If they have, yeah, pretty much. Now here's the 0-1, and a swing and a miss, strike two. But the thing is, City of Oakland cannot fund the stadium for anything. That's a broke city. That city has so many problems. Homeless is really bad. Crime is really high. Here's the 0-2, and that is a ball. My audio levels are weird. That's great to know. There, how's that? Let's how's this one? I fixed the mic, and thanks for letting me know, Box of 713. Shout out to you. I did make the adjustment. See if that makes the difference. All right, great. Thank you. And now here is the 2-2 pitch. And now here's a fly ball to deep right field, and Haniger makes the catch. It's still doing it? Really? Man, what can I do? I think it could be the noise suppression. I'm going to take a listen to it on my end. I always hate it. It's this microphone. I don't know. It's either my computer or the microphone, but I really don't know. Yep, I can hear the problem. Here is the pitch, and that is a foul ball. And Nathaniel Lowe is up to the plate, and I'm going to be spending my entire commercial break trying to fix this microphone. And here's the 0-2, and that is an 0-1-2 count. It's almost like you're better off without the microphone, isn't it? And now here is the 1-2 pitch, and that is high for foul ball. Why I even say it that way? I'm gonna try it this way. See if this one's better. Now we're looking at the 1-2. And now here's a fly ball to deep right field, and that just left the yard, and that is a home run. And now it's a 2-1 ball game with Nathaniel Lowe with a home run. And Luis Castillo is always prone to giving up those home runs, unfortunately. Now I really gotta check this microphone. This microphone's really driving me nuts. It always does this every single time. And now here is Adolis Garcia, and that is outside for a ball. Now here's the 0-1, and that is a strike. We're now looking at an 0-2 count for Adolis Garcia. And Castillo is ready. And here's the 0-2 pitch. And now that's a 1-2 count. And now we're looking at a 1-2 count so far. Castillo is ready. And here is the 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss hits the dirt, strike 3, and that will retire the side. And now I got to take a commercial break to see what the heck is going on with my microphone. Please enjoy this commercial. Since 2022, I have been growing this YouTube channel, and I just want to say thank you very much for being part of the growth and for the future. I now have memberships to offer for you. I got 2 different ones. I got Rooftop Fans and Rooftop Super Fans. For Rooftop Fans, which is $1.99 per month, you'll get loyalty badges to give you priorities for responses to comments, and you will even have access to special emojis that I made myself. As for Rooftop Superfans, which is $4.99 per month, you will not only get the benefits of Rooftop Fans, you will also get priority to future videos, including nostalgic videos. So go ahead and check out my membership, and thank you for your support. All right, let's see if I fix this voice. Hopefully that sounds better. Going through commercial break and hoping that this microphone's a little bit better this time. I don't understand what the problem is. How about now? I'm just going through all the testing cycles right now with my Yeti microphone. Either it's my Logitech microphone or it's just this microphone's just, or my computer just has problems. All right, see if that's better. Need you guys' help. You think I fixed it? Well, let's hope I fixed it. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll find out. But I appreciate you looking out for me. Really means a lot when there are people that actually do care. And now we're looking at an 0-1 for Dylan Moore. And now here is the 0-1 pitch. And that is low for a ball. I'm going to check it out on my end as well. And that is a strike for Dylan Moore. And then now we're looking at a 1-2 count. Dylan Moore is looking at a 1-2 count so far. He's 2 for 3 in this series. Been playing very well so far. And here is the 1-2 pitch. And check swing. He definitely went around. And that is going to be a strikeout. Oh, yeah. To say it's a hassle is an absolute understatement. Sometimes I wonder if it is my microphone. And I bought the best possible one at Best Buy. And that misses a strike zone, but that is going to be a strike for Mitch Garver. Now we are looking at the 0-1. Now here's a ground ball right to Marcus Semien, the throw to first, and it's in time. And that's going to retire the side. That was a 1-2-3. And we go to, actually, no, that's going to be 2 outs. I thought that was a 1-2-3. My mistaken. I'm obviously distracted because my microphone is just being absolute dog, you know what. And now we're looking at Luis Urias. And now here is the pitch. And that is a fastball right in there for a strike. And my voice just still keeps warping. I don't know what the problem is. Here's the pitch, and that is low for a ball. I really don't know what it is. It's really driving me nuts. This is probably why a lot of people quit YouTube because of stuff like this. And now we're looking at the 1-2 count, and here is the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike three, and that will retire the side. Another sloppy offensive effort by the Mariners in this inning. Yep, it's still doing it. I don't know why it's happening, guys. I really do apologize for this microphone problem. It's just like warping back and forth. Maybe I should go on Google. I'm gonna try to still figure out and see what the problems are. Gonna see if this one's any better. Going through my Yeti microphone check to see if this is any better. I just pushed the test button right now. And I'm doing this with a little bit of raised volume to see if it's any better. All right, see if that sounds any better, guys. And I'm going to see if... I think that might be a little bit better. Looks like Justin Verlander to do second inning did 3 strikeouts. Okay, that's good on him. Except I'm a Mariners fan, so I can't be that happy. And box is 713. What team do you usually cheer for? And fewest bullpen innings pitched this season is Seattle Mariners. Starting pitching has been, I guess, pitching a little bit more than usual. So you're the Houston guy, huh? Have you subscribed to my channel on YouTube? And now here's the pitch. And that is going to be a strike. I believe this is going to be Evan Carter up to the plate. And now here's the pitch. And that is another strike. That's going to be a 1-2 count. You're on Twitch? Okay. Well, subscribe to this. Subscribe by Twitch then. Now here's Evan Carter. Here is the 1-2. And now here's a fly ball to right center field. Julio is there. He makes the catch. And now we've got 1 down. And now we're looking at next hitter. Now here's the pitch. And that is a strike. Castillo, other than letting a home run get away, this is Josh Smith. He's been pitching at least okay. He's actually been pitching well. He just let 1 pitch get away. Here is the pitch. Now here's a fly ball to right field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. It's going to be extra bases. Josh Smith is going to go to second base. Haniger had trouble picking up the ball, and he might be at third base. The throw to third, and it's not in time. The bobble by Mitch Haniger actually got Josh Smith to go to third base, and now we got a 1-out triple. Now I'm wondering if that first inning by the Mariners was very fluky. It really does feel like it. Mitch Haniger had a bobbling problem, and I always keep praising Mitch Haniger for his more fundamental defense than Teoscar Hernandez. And I've done Teoscar Hernandez type mistakes. It's just not fun. And that is going to be a strike. And it's now Langford who made that catch off of Mitch Haniger's really nice hit that would have drove in Julio Rodriguez, but at least Ty France made up for it with a home run. Here's the pitch, and that is low for a ball. Mariners infield playing a little bit inside, more than I would have liked. I wonder if they're anticipating a suicide squeeze on this one. But we're not seeing it right now from Wyatt Langford. Here's the pitch. And that hit the strike zone, but somehow that missed it. And now that's going to be a 1-1. It was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. But so far, Mariners are now they're in some trouble right now. And now we're looking at the 2-1. Here's the pitch. And he misses it. It's going to be a 3-1. And I think at that point, I would have just walked him anyway. Wyatt Langford, first career hit. Looks like is he a rookie too? I don't know. And now here's the 3-1. And that is a foul ball. Problem with this microphone, it's very digitally dependent, so it's very prone for bugs. And now here's the 3-2, and that gets away for ball 4, and I would have just intentionally walked rather than waste all those pitches. Scott Service never does that. He never makes those kind of calls to be like, hey, just intentionally walk him, which they should have done instead of wasting like 6 pitches. And now here is Duran. Maybe his name is Ezekiel Duran, who's batting 8th in the order. Has a chance to do damage. Here's the pitch, and that's a strike. Seemed that was a makeup call. And now we're looking at an 0-1 count for Ezekiel Duran. And Duran, here's the pitch. And that is outside, and that just misses it. He's batting 125. No home runs and 1 RBI. Here is the pitch, and that is a foul ball. And also, if you are interested, join my membership to help support this channel. $2 a month, where you'll get emojis, and $5 a month to get exclusive early release content. I am working on a Supersonics video. Should be released next week. Here's the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. And now we're looking at a 2-2, and this would be a great opportunity for a strikeout for Luis Castillo. He's already working on a jam, which is not ideal because you don't want to burn too much of your bullpen going into the series against Arizona and Atlanta, because you won't have a day off until Thursday. Although the Mariners did have a day off on Monday, but it's going to be a grind until the end of the Atlanta series, and then you're going to Houston. So you really want to get ready. And I don't care how bad Houston is. It's a divisional game. You never downplay those, even if they haven't even won a game. Now here's the 2-2 pitch, and he misses it again, and Luis Castillo's command is just not looking good. I guess that was his changeup, but it's just not hitting the strike zone. The controls just seems to be off for Luis Castillo. It's not like he's trying to fool them. The command is just not there. And now here is the full count pitch. And now here is a blooper, and that's going to go caught by Polanco. And is that going to bring it? No, it will not bring in a run. Great play by Polanco. It was a blooper. It should have went through for a base hit, but Polanco makes an amazing catch. What a catch by Polanco. And now we've got 2 down so far. Yeah, it was about to be a blooper. It looked like one of those nasty Texas leaguers that you just really can't do anything about it. But he caught it, and he's been making really good catches at second base. And I don't know, Josh. I really don't know. And man, Luis Castillo continues to lose his control. It's just not there today at all. Andrew Keisner is now up the batter. And the throw to second base, and not in time. The runner was going. And now we've got runners on second and third. Luis Castillo desperately needs to get out of this jam. He's already close to 40 pitches. I thought Cal Raleigh may have had a shot, but runner already had a good jump. And now here's the 1-1. And he misses it again. It's going to be a 2-1. This is where I'm not the biggest fan of Luis Castillo. He's just very streaky. Just like last year, he was the definition of a streaky pitcher. Andrew Keisner. And now here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Why does one strike feel like 10, honestly? Because it's Luis Castillo and the Mariners. That's what it really is. And now we're looking at the 2-2. And that is fouled. We're looking at a 2-2 count so far. They're looking at Polanco right now on the camera. And now here's the 2-2. And fouled again. And Texas continues to put the wear and tear on Luis Castillo. I really do think the bullpen's going to be very busy today. At this pace, he's going to be at 80 pitches by the time it gets to the fourth inning if this pace keeps up. Castillo's got to get out of this jam. And here is the 2-2. And he misses it again. It's going to be a 3-2. And Castillo, just throw strikes on him, man. Show your nasty stuff, because it's not like you're throwing any breaking stuff at all. I haven't really seen much breaking stuff so far this game. That's why Texas is able to jump on him. And now here's the full count pitch. And fouled again. And that was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. And it's not like you have room for error, so that's why you're not really going for those breaking stuff. Marcus Simeon's on deck, so you really want to get out of this inning. You do not want to have him up with runners in scoring position. Keisner's been fighting it off. Here is the 3-2. And that is strike 3 called. And that will retire the side, and Castillo gets out of a nasty jam. And that's going to retire the side. And now I need a breather because that was one long freaking inning. I really thought Texas was going to score out of that. But fortunately, the Mariners are maintaining that lead. SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal. And you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code RooftopSports to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you. Yep, take advantage of it. If you are looking to go that Eugenio Suarez homecoming game, that is going to be your opportunity. So use the promo code Rooftop Sports to get $20 off of that purchase. And commercial break is still on the going. And now we are back from the break, and now they're showing Andrew Heaney. Although he had a tough first inning, gave up a 2-run home run, he has responded pretty well since. Now here's a bunt attempt. And this is Clase. He is batting ninth in the order. And I remember I didn't even get a chance to go through the entire inning because I was so much talking about the injuries of J.P. Crawford. Now here's the 0-1. And now here is a line drive fly ball caught by Edwin Carter. And that's going to be one down. I did like that hit, but it just happened to land on the glove, unfortunately. And that's going to be one down. And now here is Julio Rodriguez up to the plate. Julio batting leadoff today. He did get a nice hit, which eventually led to that Cal Raleigh home run. So he has already well contributed. Here is the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to deep right center field, but Adolis Garcia is going to be there. And he makes the catch, and that's going to be two down already. Mariners offense is already flat this early in this game after that Ty France home run. And Mitch Haniger's up to the plate, and that is going to be a strike. Mitch Haniger is batting as an 0-1 count so far. Had a nice fly ball to left field, but it was a line out actually. Had a 90% chance for a hit probability. Talk about very unlucky. And now here is the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three, and that's going to retire the side. Another 1-2-3 inning. Sleepy, how's it going? This is one of my beloved members of this channel. Thank you very much for thank you for joining this channel as a member. And if you want to be reminded of how this membership works, here it is. Since 2022, I have been growing this YouTube channel, and I just want to say thank you very much for being part of the growth and for the future. I now have memberships to offer for you. I got two different ones. I got Rooftop Fans and Rooftop Super Fans. For Rooftop Fans, which is $1.99 per month, you'll get loyalty badges to give you priorities for responses to comments, and you will even have access to special emojis that I made myself. As for Rooftop Superfans, which is $4.99 per month, you will not only get the benefits of Rooftop Fans, you will also get priority to future videos, including nostalgic videos. So go ahead and check out my membership, and thank you for your support. Yep, thank you for the support, and if you would like to support this channel any further, because right now I have 5 members, let's get it to 10 as soon as possible to help grow this channel for the future of my channel. And hopefully the Mariners, most importantly, can just get this win. And don't forget, I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow night, I'll be back for the game. Saturday is up in the air right now. Sunday is also up in the air. I'm also hoping to be there, but it's also, status is very much up in the air. But we'll see. Hopefully I can cover all those games, especially the Arizona. Definitely going to be there for the first game for Eugenio Suarez. And now we are back from the break. Talking about Corbin Carroll, who was in Seattle. I wonder why they're talking about him right now. Kind of random. And now Castillo, he pitches it in for a strike, and now we're back at the top of the lineup, and that is going to be Marcus Semien up to the plate. Castillo at 46 pitches. And now here is the 0-1 pitch. And now here's a ground ball, and that's going to get right through for a base hit. It went laser fast, so fast that Ty France didn't even make an attempt to make a play for it. And now we got a runner on first base, and this Texas team will continue to keep battering you. That had a really insane exit velocity. Like, it went right through Ty France. Like, there was just nothing he could have done. And now we got number 2. We got the next hitter, Corey Seager, Kyle Seager's brother. And he did not go around. Corey Seager's been one of the stars for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Was one of the stars of Los Angeles Dodgers. Now he's on with the Texas Rangers. Pretty much revitalized his career there. Batting .253 with 1 homer. And that is outside for a ball. Corey Seager, a 2-time World Series championship. Castillo checks the runner. Corey Seager's been very struggling this series, 0 for 6. Now here's the 2-0. And that's low for a 3-0 count, and Castillo's command has just been atrocious today. I have no idea what's been going on, but this is the stuff where I say that I hate to say it. I think Luis Castillo is overrated. I don't think he is a number 1. I think he's a number 2 or 3 at best. Give number 1 to either Logan Gilbert or George Kirby. Here's a 3-0 and a swing and a miss. He gets him on the breaking stuff. Corey Seager does walk above the normal. He does get on base very well. Corey Seager does. Now here's the pitch, and that is fouled away. Corey Seager's been an absolute star since he joined the Texas Rangers. He's been averaging a 30 home run hitter. Here's the pitch. And now here's the throw. Doesn't matter because now you got runners on first and second. And this is where things get very concerning. We got no outs. Castillo's been really just walking the entire lineup pretty much at this point. And this is not exactly a encouraging thing to see. Gonna try this microphone on this kind of angle. See if it sounds any better. Now here is Nathaniel Lowe, I believe. Now here is a fly ball foul. I like this one better for some reason. And now we're looking at the 0-1, and here is the pitch. And that is going to be up high for a ball. Now we're looking at the 1-1. And now here's the pitch. And that is fouled. And that's going to be a 1-2 count. So the only positive thing out of this is now it's a foul ball. Now it's a 1-2. And now here's the pitch. And that is up high for a ball. And once again, Castillo's command is just not there. He's just throwing fastballs, and they're just completely missing the plate. Like, try some breaking stuff. Because I haven't really seen you really use that at all. And you can't really tell what kind of stuff he's been using. And now we're looking at the 2-2. Now here's the pitch. And now it's a 3-2 count. It's a full count. And this is just when things get very concerning. If I were Scott Service, I hate to say it, maybe want to get some activity going in the bullpen. And now here's the full count. And now here's a fly ball to center field, and Julio is there. He makes the catch. Nobody's going to be running. Simeon still stays at second base, and now we got one down. If I were Castillo, try to pitch it a little bit low so you can cause a double play. Steven Diaz saying he's been wild all game. That would be an understatement, that he has been absolutely been wild. Now Adolis Garcia, the cleanup hitter, he is now up to the plate, and this is when things get really dangerous. And I would still be feeling the same way, even if Texas was on the same position that Houston is in. Adolis Garcia thought he was out last game. He did hit that home run. Julio barely missed it. If it was 2-0, I would feel a lot better about this, but I do not. Adolis Garcia did strike out in the last inning, but he has an opportunity to really get it going. And now here is going to be the pitch for Adolis Garcia. Here it is. And that is up high for a ball. And once again, he continues to be wild. Yes, his fastball is topping into 96, but he's not having a good game. 60 pitches in for Castillo. And the throw to second. Not in time. Back in time is Marcus Semien. Tough guy to get out, honestly. Just like how tough this game has really been. And now here's the 1-0. And a swing and a miss. And Castillo foolishly was fooled. He fooled him. And now Castillo is working on a 1-1 count. And I think time has been called. Adolis Garcia is looking at 2 runners on base. Got a 1-1. And now here's the 1-1. And a swing and a miss. 97-mile-an-hour fastball. And we're looking at a 1-2 count. And hopefully he can keep this up. Because it would be very ideal for Castillo to figure this out. Now here's the 1-2. And now here's a ground ball right to Urias. The throw to first, throw to second. Double play. And that's going to retire the side. And I said that in reverse. And the Mariners get out of a jam. What a play. That was Luis Urias at third base. And he somehow figured it out on how to get it done. And now we are going into commercial break. And that was just really close. And now time for some ad break, right? SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code ROOFTOPSPORTS to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you. Yep, and take advantage of it every chance you get. Get your $20 off if you're planning to go to a Eugenio Suarez reunion. It will be quite a time to reminisce on Eugenio Suarez, and I really do miss that guy deeply. I really miss him a lot. I'm still not happy about that trade. Mariners really pretty much got nothing out of that trade. Very unfortunate. And hopefully, but at least the third base core of Luis Urias and Josh Rojas has been playing really well. The platoon has worked out pretty well. And let's hope that they can figure this out. And I accidentally put in JS Tridents. Also use his when you get the chance as well. There's mine, Rooftop Sports. And we are now on the commercial break. And now we are back from the break. 90s night on Saturday. You can get first 10,000 fans get the neon 90s hat. I guess neon colors were quite a thing back then. And here is the pitch to Cal Raleigh. And that is outside for a ball. He popped out last time around. He's batting third in the order. And now here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. And that is going to be strike one. Now here's the 1-1. And that is fouled back. And now that's going to be a 1-2 count on Cal Raleigh. He popped out in the first. He would really like to really get this offense going because clearly in the last two, basically every inning, it's proven that 2 runs isn't enough against Texas. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball foul. At least it's good to see Cal Raleigh fighting it off. He is 2 for 5 in this series. He did hit a home run in the first game against the Rangers. Mariners would love to be above 500 at the start against the Arizona Diamondbacks. They are now sitting at 500 right now. Cal Raleigh 2 for 5. And now here's the 1-2. And that is fouled again. He continues to fight it off, but it was outside the strike zone. So maybe should have swung at that. And also within the next 10 to 15 minutes, I've got Steve of Swinging for the Fences. He's going to be back. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And now we've got one down. Strikeout to Cal Raleigh. Josh, your team will be fine. I mean, how do you feel about your manager? Like, what do you think are the real problems of this team? I think you said the mid-relief bullpen is pretty bad. And the injuries, I think, hurt your team. Any other problems I should be aware of for Houston? Here is the pitch to Ty France. He did hit the home run last time. Glad to see his first home run of the season. Joe, it's not the problem. And now here's the pitch. And that is going to be a strike. Then what is the problem with the Houston team? Would like to know. Very curious to hear what you're going to say. And now here's the 0-2 pitch. And that is up high for a ball. Good to see Ty France actually not swinging at that. Ty France is looking at the 1-2, and now here is the pitch. And that is strike 3 called, and he knew it. He doesn't even take a swing at it, which is very disappointing. And now we're looking at 2 outs. That just gives Texas another confidence of opportunity because we know the 2-1 lead is not going to be enough. Mariners have got to score a lot. Here's the pitch to Polanco. He's going for the bunt, but why are you doing this on 2 outs? You do this on no outs, Polanco. Is Scott Service making this call or is Polanco doing this? Back end of the bullpen as they have gotten 2 saves, and I think blown a ton of them. Jose Abreu is also bad. I've heard about that. Here's the 0-1. And that is fouled and already down to 2 strikes already. And this is where you will get understandably nervous. We're looking at an 0-1. 0 for 1 is Jorge Polanco. And now here's the 0-2. Now here's a ground ball right to Simeon. Good play. The throw to first. And it's in time. And that's going to retire the side once again. We go to bottom of the 4th. Mariners are leading 2-1. But we all know that kind of lead is nowhere near enough. And now I need another commercial break because I'm already tired. This game's already made me exhausted because of the way a game has gone.
Modern Exterior Solutions is a fully licensed and insured full-service exterior renovations company serving Seattle and East Side communities. We know that a home is one of your most important possessions. That's why we're committed to providing high-quality, affordable home renovations for each customer's individual budget. We're diverse enough to meet the challenges of any project you put in front of us. Our workmanship minimizes the use of third-party services, and our team works together to meet all your deadlines. Anytime there's a challenge, we work with you to find a solution. We're proud to work with distributors of quality brand products with durable, ample protection from the elements for a variety of applications, including James Hardie siding and trim. Talk with us today about your project's needs, and we can help you solve all the challenges along the way.
Yep, and use that opportunity. Get the 20% off for Modern Rooftop. Yesterday game stunk. Offense has been bad. Would have been nice to see Julio do something. I don't think he's a star. You don't think he's a star? I mean, I don't blame you for saying it. Today's offense, yes, has been absolutely atrocious. We got lucky with that Ty France home run that pretty much happened by accident. I mean, I hate to say it. It happened by accident. Emerson Hancock's going to get the start on Friday's game. And now here is Evan Carter. And that is a strike. Finally good to see a strike out of... Yeah. And now we're looking at the 0-1. And now here is the pitch. And that is a strike. And now we're looking at the 0-2 count. And here is the pitch. And that is outside for a ball. It's going to be a 1-2 count. Four home runs this season for Evan Carter. And that is outside for a ball. Ty France is the only scoring for the Mariners. Nathaniel Lowe hit that home run to make it 2-1. And now we're looking at the 2-2 pitch. And that is a fly ball popped up. That should be playable for Luis Urias. He is there. He makes the catch. And now we got one down. Now they're showing Papa Murphy's commercial. If you really want good pizza, don't go to all those corporate ones. Go to the small franchisees and like the small business ones. You'll get much better pizza than Papa Murphy's, Papa John's, Domino's, even Costco. Even though Costco is actually pretty good. And now here's a fly ball to deep right field, and that is gone. That is a home run, and now this game is tied, and that ball was just absolutely blasted. And now the game is tied at 2-2. And what a hit that was. Trying to figure out who that was. It wasn't Garcia. It was Smith. Josh Smith with a home run. And is it okay to say that Luis Castillo, I honestly think that Luis Castillo is overrated. He's not a Cy Young type pitcher. And this proves it. And now here's Wyatt Langford. And that misses it for a strike, for a ball. Steven Diaz, thank you very much for that donation. Very shout out to you. Also consider joining our membership as well. Or you can just keep donating throughout. And that is a strike. And everyone join Steven Diaz in the donations as well. Everyone be a part of it. Be a part of the growth of this channel. As I do provide the value. Here's the 1-1. You'll get much more, less politically correct takes and play-by-play. Sure, I sound negative, but I know that has drawn attention for all my New York fans and Houston fans. Now here's a line drive caught by Urias. Good catch by Urias. And now we got two down. But this game is tied. It was a liner. Went right to Urias. I haven't had Little Caesars in a long time. And looks like Steven Buddy's here. How have you been? I feel like it's been an eternity.
Well, I will say that I just got home from work, and yeah, it's the good thing is I jumped on the broadcast before the fifth inning, so I can still get in a full game myself.
Yeah, and sadly, it's now 2-2. And now here's Duran at the pitch as low, and you probably have the idea now that Luis Castillo's command isn't great.
Yeah, I'm a little behind now. I see the score's 2-2, and we're in the bottom of the fourth with two outs. How did the Mariners get there too?
Ty France, Viva la France to the home run.
Oh, 2-run shot.
2-run shot. Julio got to first base with a nice single.
All right, and how did the Rangers?
Nathaniel Lowe home run and Josh Smith home run.
All right, so two solo shots. Hey, good afternoon, Reflect the Sun. It's good to see you. How come I didn't see you on the live stream yesterday, son? You usually stop by.
You can ask why I wasn't there. I should have just clicked on it when I was at work.
You were at work. Convenient excuse, by the way. I could have used you on the broadcast yesterday. Convenient. Yeah, I was at work.
Oh, also, is there a way you could raise your volume just a little bit? Your microphone volume.
I can definitely try.
Here's the 2-2, and that is fouled. Castillo's been getting off a couple of jams in this entire game, pretty much, with the exception of the home runs. So he hasn't really had a 1-2-3 at all.
All right. How about that?
We'll work with it.
All right.
Here's a 2-2. Swing and a miss, and that's what we like from Castillo. Strike 3, yep. And that will retire the side, and gave up a home run by Josh Smith. And now we go to the top of the 5th. Mariners offense has got to show life. Life got in the way. NFL draft stuff has you excited. Reflect the Sun. Who do you think the Seahawks will draft and should draft? Like, I'm hoping for a quarterback because I'm just not convinced on Sam Howell. Geno, this could be his final. I think this could be Geno's final year as a starter if he doesn't do well.
I think this is. I think that the Seahawks are definitely going to draft a quarterback. Yes, they have Sam Howell, and I think those two are going to be competing for the starting job. And I don't think it's. And I do not think that it's a given that Geno Smith is going to win the starting quarterback job. But I do believe that there is a possibility that the Seahawks might even trade up if there is a certain scenario that they like where they're not necessarily giving up too much draft capital. But I definitely think that if they stay at 16, and if the guy is there, I would probably assume that they might take Michael Penix.
Michael Penix, even though I'm not the biggest fan of it. And Reflect the Sun, thank you very much for joining. And so far today, we've got Reflect the Sun and Steven Diaz, the ones that got off their wallets. Let's hope that everyone else can join.
Yeah, and by the way, thanks for not sitting on your wallet today. You know, it's one thing to be a subscriber, and I'm sure Rooftop appreciates it, but it's another thing. It's another thing to to help out the program. Definitely scan the QR codes and make a donation, man. That's how this channel grows.
That's how the channel grows. Yep, and also going to be back tomorrow for the Eugenio Suarez homecoming game. You'll imagine. Ooh. Oh, and here's a line drive, and that's going to drop for a base hit. That was Dylan Moore, and he's going to go to second base. The throw to second, no throw to second, and Dylan Moore already stepping up for a double.
And there you go. It is it looked like it was a change that kind of got left over the plate a little bit right there, and Dylan got all of it and drove it into the left field corner. So here we go. A leadoff double. Steve,
can you try to raise your volume just if there's anywhere where you have any controls on that volume?
I just did turn it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's try it again. Yeah. Oh, here we go. How about that?
Except I hear background noise. Maybe is there like a remove background thing?
I got my fan on, so hold on.
Oh, I guess everyone's saying the mic sounds fine, so we'll go with it. And here is Mitch Garver working on a 1-0. Let's see if he can extend something.
Yeah,
and that is a strike. I mean, Mitch Garver, you should be good at this stadium. You know this stadium. You played in Texas.
You know what's interesting is I went over Mitch Garver's career. I went over the numbers just to kind of get an idea.
A miss strike too.
Kind of get an idea of if he was a quick starter or a slow starter, and generally he's kind of a slow starter.
Let's hope he's okay. He's batting 200. He's not batting below it. Here's the pitch, and that is fouled. I did not blame him for that swing because it did hit the inside.
His best months are May, June, and September. Those are his best months.
So I guess he's more of a clutch kind of guy. Let's hope. And now we're looking at a 1-2. And now here is the pitch. And that is fouled. At least it's good to see him fighting it off, though. So I'm not going to blame him too much for it.
Yeah, 2-strike count. You're anything near the plate, you'll probably see him swing. Definitely.
Except Ty France, I think he just looked at one.
Yeah.
So he struck out looking. Now we're looking at the 1-2, and now here's the pitch. Foul ball again. He is still fighting it. Honestly, even if he does strike out, I won't be as disappointed just because you're putting work on Heaney, because Heaney's been very efficient with the exception of that Ty France home run. Aside from that, he was practically pitching a perfect game.
Yeah. You know,
1-2, fouled again.
The funny thing about Heaney, it's not like he's a Cy Young candidate. You know, the Mariners actually have had success against Andrew Heaney. This is, this isn't something that is he's not the type of guy that's going to continue to dominate. The Mariners can get to him.
Let's hope they can get to him, because looking at that ERA of his in that season, this is the opportunity to do it. And now here's the 1-2, and fouled again. Mitch Garver's continuing to fight off this pitcher, Andrew Heaney, now at 52 pitches. And now we're looking at the 1-2. And now here is the pitch. And here's a ground ball, and it's fair ball going to first, and it's in time. And unfortunately, that will not move Dylan Moore to third base, as that was more of a laser throw. And now we've got one down. They're talking about the Seahawks draft. They have the 16th overall pick. I'm sure like much of the quarterbacks will be gone by then.
So, in case you were curious, the Andrew Heaney has 18 career starts against the Mariners, sports a 4.18 ERA. He's got 110 strikeouts to 32 walks. He's given up 19 runs on 95 hits, and he's given up 19 home runs.
And now here's a fly ball to deep left field, and that is gone and blasted out of there. Luis Urias blasts it, and now it's a 3-2 Mariners lead.
4-2. There was a runner on there.
It is a 4-2 lead.
Yeah, just and that's the thing, is Andrew Heaney can be gotten to, he's given up 46 earned runs on 95 hits in his career against the Mariners. So the Mariners, obviously, because Luis Urias just got to him, and now have gotten to him for the second time today, and now the Mariners have a nice little lead they can build off of.
Now here's the pitch to Clase, and that is right to the third baseman.
Yep.
And now it's 2 outs.
Oh, and Urias got all of it too, didn't he? High fastball up in the zone, and he didn't miss that.
That was a nice hit by Urias.
I know, right, Josh? In the chat room, 3-2, 4-2. They're all the same. That's a good comment right there.
And now we're looking at Julio Rodriguez. Good to see the Mariners step up.
Yep.
Especially Luis Urias. Now here's the 1-0. And a swing and a miss. And Julio was trying to murder that one. Honestly, on 2 outs, I don't blame him for doing it.
Yeah, but the thing about it is it's it's a fastball low in the zone, and he's taking a big cut.
And that one was also a big cut. And that looked, I guess they still called that a foul.
Yeah, he fouled it off his foot.
Ouch.
Yeah.
We can't afford an injury out of that, because we haven't even talked about all the injury news that happened, and much of them is pretty devastating. Yep. Actually, all of them are.
Well, the big one is obviously with JP Crawford. I think he went on the 10-day DL.
He did. And now Santos is now on a 60.
Yeah. Well, I'm not necessarily worried about Gregory Santos. There was really no time frame, really, so to speak. They were talking about maybe early May, but it was still kind of up in the air. And now we know definitely that he's not going to be back until the second half of the year. So, with JP, it almost seems like it's just precaution.
JP, yeah. And
yeah,
I wish I can say that call up Cole Young, but the guy just started Double-A, so that's not going to happen.
I was thinking that maybe Ryan Bliss might get the call just for defensive purposes.
They already gave it to Leo Rivas.
Yeah, Leo Rivas, yeah.
Who is expected to be the Jose Caballero kind of move.
Yeah, I
Now
know.
here is the 2-2 pitch, and that is inside for a ball. Good to see Julio not swinging at that because I remember in his rookie year, he swung himself into an injury against Houston when he was hit by Rafael Montero. And now here's the full count, 3-2. And now here's a line drive base hit, and Julio Rodriguez with his second hit of the day.
Good piece of hitting right there for Julio.
Really
You know,
was.
and it looked like Heaney going back to the well again. A little off-speed pitch down, but he didn't get it down. Missed his target and left it out over the plate. So very, very good piece of hitting.
And look at that spin on that replay. What I'm basically saying is so much spin in this game of baseball. 63 pitches for Heaney. And now here's Mitch Haniger up to the plate, batting second in the order. Now here's the run by Julio, the throw to second, not in time, stolen base.
I actually like that that Haniger is batting in the 2-hole today. It's nice to see Julio back at the top of the lineup, even if it's short term. But I think this is going to take some pressure off of Haniger
to like not be the run scorer guy.
Yeah,
and now here's the pitch. And that is now strike 2. But Haniger hasn't shown much. He did have a hit, or he had a fly ball or a liner that had a 90% chance to actually at least be a single, but it was just caught barely.
Well, you know, everything that Haniger is saying personally, even when Haniger was going well at the beginning of the year, he said that he wasn't all there, not 100%. And so I'm wondering if this is, you know, Haniger. I'm wondering if Haniger right now is just, you know, he's just not in a groove. You know what I mean? He's just not
1-2
right now.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's going to retire the side. But Luis Urias, he hits a home run, putting the Mariners up 4-2, and it was just blasted hit.
It was good piece of hitting. Hey, by the way, just for a quick note for those who are wondering who Leo Rivas was. He was in AAA Tacoma, and he had in 18 games he had 52 at bats, and he hit 308 with a 422 OBP, a 462 slugging, an 883 OPS. And it looks like 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. He has 11 walks to 13 strikeouts, and yeah, it looks like this is it kind of come. I'm sure it came as a surprise to some Mariner fans, but I think that this might be a very good move.
Let's hope so. And I'm going to take a look at Luis. What's his name? Oh, Leo Rivas.
Rivas. Yep.
Wonder if he's related to Luis Rivas?
I don't know.
Of the Minnesota Twins. I doubt it, but.
Oh, and he also had 5 stolen bases to 2 caught. So.
Yep. So that the speed has something to do with it, and service has much to do with defense. He has 2 home runs. Let's take a look at Bliss's stats, because the thing about Bliss, there's not much room for him considering that he is just a second baseman, but he is struggling. He's been striking out quite a bit, batting .226, 3 homers. So the power's there, extra base hits are there, but he's got to bring those strikeouts down.
Well, he came up as a shortstop and he was moved off to second base, and I think that was just I guess it was for him to get to the big leagues quicker. But you're absolutely right. When I mentioned Ryan Bliss's name, I was putting it out there for defensive purposes only, to get a guy that's that's not going to be a liability in the field. But you're absolutely right. He has been struggling.
He really has.
Hey, Josh in the chat room, what do you mean you're turning it over to the bullpen? Crank out the beer and pain meds. Does the bullpen?
Oh, he's talking about the Astros struggles, because whenever the bullpen comes out, that's where basically to explain the Astros bullpen, it's basically a 97-98 Mariners bullpen.
I got you. Okay, so that's right. He's the Astros fan.
He is, yeah. And then Sticky has a question, so we'll get to that as soon as the pitch goes in. Here is the pitch to Andrews, swing and a miss. The question is, what do you think of Polanco at shortstop, Rojas third base, bring up Michael Chavis at second until JP is doing better?
That is no. That is no. If they're not interested in moving Polanco to third base, why would they move him to short? If he's somewhat of a liability at second base, there's no reason you're going to put him at short. They're probably going to use Dylan
Swing and a
Moore.
miss, strike 3. Better pitching by Castillo.
Yeah, high fastball. Yeah, they're going to use Dylan Moore versus lefties, and I'm sure they'll use Leo Rivas. They'll give him an opportunity. So I have a feeling that Rojas will stay at third, and Polanco will be your second baseman.
They want the speed, is what they want.
Yeah.
And Chavis does not really steal. Now here is the pitch, and this is Marcus Semien, who's known to be the Mariner killer. Swings and misses for a strike.
Did Blake Snell have a bad outing today? Is that what the what that chat
That's what
is?
I'm thinking. Maybe that could have been from last game because the Giants did lose last night. So I'm going to take a look and see if that's what it was about. But I'm still going to stand that I wish the Mariners. I still wish that they signed him.
100%. Having the reigning NL Cy Young Award, a 2-time Cy Young Award winner in your
in Seattle with the way
Seattle, yeah,
where your pitch count is managed well. Well, I may disagree sometimes, but
100%. But in the with the Mariner pitching staff, all their coaches that seem to right, like tell me a pitcher right now that's struggling, or you think that what I mean. It's like most of even the members of the bullpen right now, a lot of them are overperforming, which is fantastic right now. But
oh yeah, considering that,
yeah, Blake Snell in our rotation, it's like holy crap.
Oh, he's on the IL.
Okay, that sucks. Still, I would have signed.
I still would have taken that chance.
Yeah.
3-2. And now here is not to JP, Dylan Moore. And he's out. It's going to be 2 outs. Goodbye, Semien. Wow. Blake Snell is injured. Well, I think some of it has to do with the fact that he wasn't signed for so long, so he lost all of those pre-workout and conditioning throughout spring training. So I think that might have something to do with it.
Sure.
So maybe if the Mariners did open their checkbooks a little bit earlier, Snell would have had all that reps and conditioning, but now he doesn't.
Yep. By the way, he's just on the 15-day DL with a left adductor strain. So I think you're absolutely right. It was maybe it was a lack of conditioning in spring training, or even a shorted version of spring training where he fully didn't get stretched out. So yeah, I don't think it's long term.
Yeah, but still it would have been nice to sign him. But hey, at least Emerson Hancock has done pretty admirably. Yeah. And now here's a line drive caught by the second baseman, Dylan Moore. Actually, he was playing shortstop and he caught that. Dylan Moore has been playing very well this game and series.
By the way, how happy are you seeing Dylan Moore rebound in 2024 after an injury-plagued 2023?
Oh,
not a lot of production. Yeah, I'm
ecstatic.
Right. I'm
like,
through the roof.
Needed to happen because I had a feeling, and even a lot of people had a feeling, that Dylan Moore's absence was quietly actually going to hurt the team, and it actually did hurt the team. And we noticed that once he came back, that's where the Mariners started to streak. And yes, does he bat like 260, 270? No. But when the way he hits, the way he gets on base, and usually some of his outs that he does are actually quality outs. Either it took like 10 pitches to get him struck out, or whenever he's out, he moved someone.
He, like, at his best, he's like a 280 hitter with a 335 OBP, but he's capable of hitting maybe 15 homers a year. But it's the bench players that are going to play pivotal roles, because as we've seen so far this season, there's a lot of regulars that just aren't going well. Now JP goes to the DL, and so you have to rely on guys like Dylan Moore. And to me, this was like when the season started, it was like, okay, yes, Mitch has got to stay healthy. Same with Garver and some of these other things. But I was like, listen, they're going to be a world of hurt unless one of those guys on the bench steps up and fills that void. And sure enough, Dylan Moore has exceeded my expectations.
Dylan Moore has exceeded expectations. I would say our third base core has by default exceeded expectations, because we did not even expect. Maybe we expected Rojas to be where he was or where he is, but we didn't expect it from Urias. We were expecting like nothing.
That's funny that you say that, because I actually was expecting something from Urias, because his, last year you can chalk it up to injury, but when he was healthy a couple years ago, he was one of the best contact hitting third basemen in the league. It's like the dude has a track record of hitting. And so I was expecting Urias to be at least back to those levels. He's not there completely, but he's not doing nothing.
He's not doing the Colton Wong at least.
Right. Actually, Josh Rojas was a complete surprise because I've been on record saying that he's at best, a first option off the bench type of guy, not a regular everyday player. And sure enough, I was proven wrong. I'm happy you proved me wrong.
Yeah, it's funny that we're on opposite ends. I was the Rojas guy, you're the Urias guy.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at a 1-2 count right now for Cal Raleigh. Big dumpers on the right side of the plate.
Yep.
Hopefully he can get something going. And now here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and down he goes.
Right at the top of the zone. High fastball. And yeah, Cal's going to swing at that 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
I put Dom Canzone and Josh Rojas in the same pool of players that are like glorified bench players.
Yeah, especially Canzone. Like the talent is there. Like he does have good talent. It's just the fundamentals are just off. Like I know we talked about it like a billion times. When he hits the home run, it's like a beautiful swing, and then when he strikes out, it's like, why did you even do that?
It looks like he's got a 3-foot hole in his swing. Yeah, I agree.
Like there are times like I thought that he would swing after the ball hits the mitt. That's how bad it is. And I've seen that happen before.
Yeah, but but all that aside, he actually got off to a pretty solid start.
He actually did. At least he made up for it with a couple homers.
Well, but yeah, even when he wasn't homering,
1-2. Now here's a ground ball right to Simeon. Easy play. And that is it. Another 1-2-3. And this game has actually been breezing quite a bit. Wait, 2 outs. My head's off. I miscounted the runs scored. This is the second time I've said 1-2-3 because I'm so used to it. We're just so much in the rhythm of it. Now here's Polanco. And that is outside for a ball. Let's take a look at Castillo's pitching because I'd rather as well see where his pitching is. Here's the 1-0, and that is a ball. Brian Wu's ETA, May 1st. Canzone, May 1st. Brash, May 3rd. Now they're saying Crawford's May 9th. So the 10-day IL is actually a miracle considering what that injury was going to be. They thought it was going to be like a month worth of return.
You talking about Canzone?
Crawford.
Well, yeah, he was put on the 10-day DL. And it looked like he was still warming up before the game. So it couldn't have been that. Oh, there you go.
And now we're looking at a 2-1 for Polanco. And now here is the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to deep left center field and caught. Fly ball. Even Polanco's like, what? No way.
Yeah, I mean, from everything that I have heard and what was been reported on, Ryan Divish actually came out a couple of times saying that JP was warming up before the game, right? So in my mind, it's like even if it was something that's serious, I don't even think he would be taking pregame warm-up. So I think it's more of a precaution than anything else. Maybe it's like a slight strain, and the Mariners don't want to put him in a situation to make it worse, so they'll shut him down for a few days, but he'll be back relatively shortly.
Especially with the decent depth that the Mariners have, at least on infield, they can at least afford to do that. Just would be nice if any of our top prospects were like going like deep in the AA, but most of them are in like single A, DCL, ACL.
Well, yeah, the timing's bad for our top prospects because, Colt Young, Colt Emerson, those guys are, as you said it. I think only one of them's at AA. The rest are in Modesto.
And Emerson's hurt. I heard he was put on an IL.
Well, there you go. So it's going to be guys like Leo Rivas or Dylan Moore taking the thing. But my question to you is, when Dom Canzone comes back, okay, the question that I have for you is, do you want to send down Jonathan Clase? Or do you want to send down Luke Raley or even Dominic Canzone?
The thing is about Luke Raley, he's just not getting the bats, and I think that's been hurting his start.
Mm-hmm.
But at least Raley, he is fast, hustles when he's running. Maybe Canzone, he's coming off of an injury.
Right.
So I think Canzone should at least be rehabbing for a little bit in AAA and see where it goes. And I know Clase has not been doing well, but when he does get the barrel on the ball, it does make impact.
Correct. You know what's funny? It's if you're not going to use Luke Raley, he should be getting regular at bats, and you can give them to him down in Tacoma. But that being said, I also wouldn't have a problem if they started Dom Canzone down in Tacoma to begin with. You know, when you look at his numbers over the course of his time this year, hasn't been great. But then again, Jonathan Clase has also been one of our worst hitters since he's come up as well too. So any of those three would be fine with me going down.
I think the most likely scenario is they're going to send down Clase, even though he does make the impact. But most of the time that's why there's reasons why he's barely even playing now.
Yep.
And now it looks like we got some activity in the bullpen. Thornton and Saucedo. I would think that with 93 pitches, this is Castillo's final inning.
Yep.
And just the way he's pitching with that command, I think it's really going to be his final inning.
But I mean, I guess that shows you that all three of them so far have been a little underwhelming. But that being said, you traded a 2-WAR player to Tampa Bay in Caballero for Luke Raley. And so you would think that Raley is going to at least get some at-bats to prove one way or another. You know what I mean?
And he really should. Here's the 1-2. And that is low for a ball. We're looking at a 2-2. As much as Adolis Garcia has been a force for the Rangers, Mariners have actually held him pretty well. 1 for 9. And it should have been 0 for 10 if Julio had the timing right.
Yeah, and he just struck out.
And now here's a 2-2. And a swing and a miss in the dirt. Strike 3.
Yeah. Great changeup right there. Good location of it, too. It was down and in the dirt. That was
a nice spin to it.
Pitch. Yeah, that was a beautiful pitch.
And now we're looking at 2 down.
Yeah, Steph in the chat room really doesn't have options, I know. You would have to DFA him, I know.
I mean, I had a feeling that Caballero was actually going to do something in Tampa because Tampa does a good. They somehow do a good job developing hitters. I mean, look what they did to Mike Zunino. Mike Zunino was like,
yeah, he was an all-star there in Tampa.
Yeah, that's why. So Tampa knows how to. They saw something in Caballero. Now here's the 1-0. And that is a strike. And I said on record that I was okay getting rid of Caballero because 1, it's not like there was much room for him, and 2, he did disappoint in the ending parts of the season.
So by the way,
I'll say it on record.
Caballero's hitting 272 with a 302 OBP, a 432 slugging, 734 OPS, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs, 9 stolen bases.
The stolen bases was there, and he was also good at getting under people's skins, especially Houston. They hated the guy, and they still do probably.
I'm still okay with that trade because I was not a big Caballero guy.
And now Evan Carter's 2 for 10. He's also on my fantasy baseball team.
Uh-oh. So you have a conflict right here.
I have a conflict. I also have Ty France. I added him because I lost Bellinger to an injury. Now here's the 1-2. And that is a ball. 2-2.
Cody Bellinger is on the...
He's on the 10-day IL.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Pitch. And now we're looking at the 2-2. And now here's the pitch. And that is strike 3 called. And Castillo gets out of the inning real quick. 1, 2, 3. 2 strikeouts. And I would wonder if that 101 pitches. So I do think that that's his final inning. Maybe with that hot hand, give him one more inning. Nope. You just get rid of it. Just get it over with.
Well, he's already at 90 some odd pitches right now. So yeah, no,
101.
101. So yeah, they're not bringing him out. They're not going to allow him face the third time through. Yeah, and especially you don't need to, considering the Mariner bullpen has been lights out for the last 10 days. So I think Service is of the opinion that with a 2-run lead, their bullpen is going to be able to protect it unless your name is Andres Munoz.
Yeah, but don't forget about Texas's offense, because they seem to be the team that actually did get to the Mariners bullpen with the exception of the first game. But I do think the second game was just weird. Like for some reason, that was like the first game where they lost. And I was like, yeah, whatever.
Well, it was going to be as soon as the Mitch Haniger bobble in right field that led to 2 runs, it was pretty much over at that point. The Mariners offense was non-existent yesterday outside of the triple in the first inning. So they were fighting an uphill battle to begin with anyway. And, you're going to have like your bullpen's not going to be perfect every single night. You might give up a run here and there. And, that was the case yesterday. I don't look down on, the Mariner bullpen.
I looked at the Twitter, and even the Mariners Twitter was actually considerably quiet from yesterday's game because I think everyone kind of knew that. Right. It was because it's not like the Mariners blew anything. Like they blew a 1-0 lead, but it's not like they blew a game like in the later innings. It's not like they got completely just shelled. Yeah, it was like 5 runs, but it just felt like the game. Like I kind of forgot about it. Now if they lose this game, I'll remember it.
Oh, for sure. Like with the 4-2 lead and something like that happens. Yeah, of course. I mean, there's no excuse for giving up a win.
And now it looks like this is going to be Dylan Moore up to the plate. Here is the pitch, and that is a strike. And Dylan Moore has been contributing very well since the J.P. Crawford scratching. He is 1 for 2 right now.
It's a little disconcerting when 3 guys in your bullpen give up a run per inning, which is not a character trait of the Mariner bullpen, but it is what it is.
It was Saucedo, I think it was Voth and Tyson Miller.
Yep.
And we're looking at an 0-2. And here is the pitch. Low for a ball.
So Cody Bolton came off the DL, and the Mariners sent down somebody from their bullpen.
DeGus.
Yeah, DeGus. They sent down DeGus. Thank you.
And Dylan Moore goes down swinging with a strike.
And I would probably assume that was a slider blown away. I would assume when Matt Brash comes back, Tyson Miller goes down. I would assume.
They're Tyson Miller or the Cody. But when Tyson Miller gave up those runs, the runs he gave up, they were like in very critical situations. Yeah, unfortunately. But he has shown he is very talented though.
I'm not going to take anything away from him. Tyson Miller he's been DFA'd 4 times so far in his career. Mets, Dodgers, Cubs, and the Rangers, I believe. So I think there's a reason for that. But that being said, I know the Mariners think there's value, but I think they value Cody Bolton more than they value Tyson Miller.
Now it makes me curious like what the numbers are for these guys. And Mitch Garver is now unfortunately down to an 0-2, and his batting average has just severely dropped to 136. He was batting 200 before. Here's the pitch outside, and the catcher tried to do a frame job. That's Nathaniel Lowe as the catcher, but he didn't get it.
I think that somebody asked me today about Mitch Garver. Like, what do I think would happen if come the
1-2? Swing and a miss, strike 3, down he goes, and he has been 0 for 10. So maybe Mitch Garver was like, "Hey, I know you," but Texas like, "Yep, we know you too."
Right now, Garver's struggling, and as I was mentioned, somebody asked me today about Garver. What happens if come the end of May and he still hasn't been hitting? There's no way that the Mariners are going to DFA him. There's no way that what I mean. Like that, he was their big free agent guy.
Unless they want to Bobby Bonilla his contract, which I don't think they would be doing.
Yeah, they're not going to eat it. I think they're going to give him the entire year.
They give him a 4-year, I think, too.
I think it was a 2-year.
Oh, if it's a 2-year, then we'll find out in a moment.
Yeah.
Tyson Miller is on a 1.59 ERA. Here's the pitch, and now here's a fly ball to basically nowhere. And Carter makes the catch, and that's going to retire the side. We go to stretch time. Time for the 7th inning stretch, and we all know the drill. It is time for the 7th inning stretch is to take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
I don't care if I ever get back, so let's root.
Let's root. Root for the Mariners.
If they don't win, it's a shame. It would be it because they have a 4-2 lead.
Yeah. For it's 1, 2, 3 runs to a blown lead in the old ball game. I'm just kidding.
No, I like that. No, I like changing those up. That's what our 7th inning stretches are going to be. They're always going to change things up. And Andrew Nguyen says, happy NFL draft day. Yeah. Yep, it really is. Maybe that's why my viewership is meh, because everyone's on football fever, because when football effect happens, it's competition.
Yeah, by the way, it's the NFL draft. It shouldn't even be that big of a deal. But to that end, go Lions.
And go Hawks. And here's to hoping that they do draft Bo Nix.
Also, go Cougs. But yeah, you like Bo Nix?
I like Bo Nix.
Okay.
Because he has the legs, because Seahawks usually never have a line. Now, with Mike McDonald as their new coach, maybe that will change, because Pete Carroll, he never gave a rat's about building a line. Because he was very dependent on mobile quarterbacks. At least Smith had some kind of feet. He didn't really have good feet, but Wilson always had feet.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and of course Josh is go Texans in the chat. You know what's thing? I don't have a problem with the Texans, but I was a big Houston Oilers guy back in the day. So
back in the old days of Warren Moon, and then saw a couple years of Steve McNair as a Texan. As a Texan, the Oiler. Here's the pitch. And now that's going to be Ryan Stanek. Looks like his role has changed. Looks like they're not considering him as a closer anymore, considering that he's had difficult outings as a closer.
Yeah, but and that's a shame too. They're gonna ride with your boy Munoz, rain, hell or high water. So
I wonder if Brash comes back. I wonder if they'll try to see if Brash can be closer, but I don't think they're gonna even rush into that.
I think what's going to end up happening is if Munoz continues to struggle every other outing, I would probably think they would consider it. But until further notice, Andres Munoz is forced to be your closer.
And now here's Josh Smith, who did hit that home run last time around against Luis Castillo. Here is the 1-2, and that is foul ball.
I think Stanek is. I think Stanek should be it should probably be our closer right now. I think
it does make me nervous every time, but I don't even think he's blown a save yet. But he's had to get pulled before.
I'll say this: he's got that Kenny Powers thing going on that I like.
He's got the hair.
You know who Kenny Powers is, right?
Nope.
Okay, you should watch Eastbound and Down.
I wouldn't know.
It's a show about a former closer by the name of Kenny Powers. Fantastic.
Looking at 2-2. Yeah, I know a lot of baseball movies were more frequent back in the day. 80s and 90s. I think 80s. And strike 3 called. Down he goes. 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yep.
I would say the 80s was probably the peak of baseball movies, because that's when they were all popping out. Natural, Bull Durham, Field of Dreams.
I was a big fan of The Natural. I like that movie.
It was a great movie. Losing is a disease as contagious as polio.
Roy Hobbs.
And now here's the pitch and foul ball.
Yep.
Roy Hobbs was the Griffey before Griffey. Because he was the natural. Yep, that's what that happens.
Natural. Yep. And there's right there. There's a fastball at the top end of the zone. That
0-1, and that's going to be a 1-1.
Yeah.
Going back to bullpen, I love Brash, and it took me a long time to like the guy, but he is also a very erratic pitcher. He somehow doesn't get the walks, but he's still wild.
My thing about Brash is he's overused. That's number one. And number two, I don't like the way that Service deploys him. But that being said, you hit it right on the head. There's outings where his command is brilliant. Like, he's dialed in and he looks great, and then he'll have an appearance where he can't locate anything.
He's super streaky.
Yeah.
It's like, now I question, like, how did he get to 100 strikeouts as a relief pitcher last season?
Well, he also pitched 70 in a third innings last year, which is why
that'll do it. Yeah.
While he started, that's the reason why he started the season on the DL.
Yeah. Because Scott Service wore him out.
Yeah.
That's what he does. He wears out his bullpen all the time.
Yeah, he rides the hot hand.
And now we're looking at the 3-2. And now here's a ground ball right to... It's bobbled by Dylan Moore. And now that's going to go to first base. That kind of gave me the reminder of that Alex Gonzalez bobble when it was in Chicago, except that one was a double play opportunity. But
yep, that was a clean ground ball that should have been the second out of the inning. And I want to say that Dylan took his eyes off the ball, but it looked like he was looking that ball all the way into his glove. I guess it just took a hop off his glove.
It did. Hate to say it, but I think JP would have fielded that one, even though JP isn't exactly known for his defense.
Well, he was a Gold Glover,
at least as of recent. Now here's the pitch, and that is a strike. Duran's trying to draw the bunt.
Yeah.
What really got JP Crawford's attention was his weird backhanded play back in 2019.
Yep.
That's what got the attention.
Yeah, but with JP, you have a sure-handed club. There's a reason why he's steady. And that's the thing with Dylan, who doesn't play shortstop often.
That happens.
It's the cost of doing business.
We're looking at 0-2 already.
Ooh. My worry is if I'm
0-2 and a swing and a miss, or is that a foul? That's a foul.
I worry about the 2-run home run in this situation.
Who wouldn't?
It's the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, that's why there's been a lot more walks, because the Mariners have been trying to pitch around them, and it just hasn't worked. You can't fool Texas.
So what you're saying is you can't fool Chuck Norris?
Nah. Unless you're Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee murdered him.
Nobody can fool Chuck. Yeah, it's this is a
0-2.
A dangerous lineup, man.
Hey, Chuck Norris is the reason why those Total Gym exercise sets sold really well.
Yeah, in this situation, I would be a little scared of the 2-run home run.
I would be too.
Not to jinx it or anything.
Well, you're reverse jinxing maybe. And here's the pitch, and that's a foul ball.
I do like Stanek in this situation. He's got the slider he can go too low in the way. He's got the sink as well too. He can put it in the dirt. And he's got the 98-mile-an-hour gas. So he's got a few weapons right here.
We're looking at the 0-2. Stanek is still stuck on the 0-2. And looks like time's been called.
Yep.
17 pitches in for Stanek. I don't think he's going to go into the 8th inning. Usually when you're like 15 plus, you're done.
Yeah, I don't think there was even a consideration he would work 2 innings, but
yep, and another foul ball by Duran.
The interesting thing is who gets the 8th. Who's available, who gets the 8th. We know who's going to get the 9th.
Munoz is going to get the 9th, unfortunately. It looks like it's going to be, I guess it's going to be Thornton.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So because you have options, you got Thornton and you got Spire.
And another foul ball. Duran is really just killing this guy. If I were with an 0-2 count, there's like, why don't you just try some breaking stuff on this one? I would hope that he's going to do something with the breaking stuff.
You would think slider loan away.
Something like that. Would like to see that happen. And that's if he has one.
Oh, I just gave it away. My bad.
Here's the pitch. And strike 3 called. I think we called it.
Yep.
We called something with the breaking stuff. That's what we were asking him to do, and he does it.
Yeah, I'm with you, Steven Diaz. Spire then Munoz. Yeah, I'm
He
kind
does
of
have a
good.
slider, and I think that was a slider. That was not a splitter.
I am a yeah, that was a slider. That was a nice pitch, nice pitch placement right there. But yeah, no, I'm with Steven Diaz in the chat. I'm a big Gabe Spire fan, and I don't care if it's righty lefty. Spire can pitch. I like Spire.
He's came a long way, and now we've got Yona Heim, another dangerous hitter, and that's something that Texas has been known to do. I've never seen a season where Texas doesn't have an offense. They are built on offense, and they have been for years.
Well, 2021, before they got Simeon and Seager, and they were a young team, that was probably the last time they didn't have that explosive offense.
Unless they played the Mariners.
Say it again.
Unless they played the Mariners.
Yeah, well, that's true. Texas
and
always
check swing foul.
Yeah, Texas always seems to kill the Mariners.
At least on offense.
Yeah.
Wonder which team Mariners handles the most. They don't handle Houston well typically. I think Angels is like 50-50. And Steven Diaz shout out with a donation, the pitch. And now that is going to go right through for a base hit. And I wonder if Service would pull him out in this situation. You got 2 runners on base, and Stanek already has 22 pitches.
Oh, and by the way, that would look like a little two-seamer running away. And, credit Jonah Heim. He just went the other way. That was a really good piece of hitting. That's a good question. Against the righty, probably not.
That's true. Because you won't put a lefty in for that. And this is Marcus Semien, another dangerous hitter.
Yep,
Texas does not stop. Here's the pitch. And now fly ball. Could it be playable? Going to the first base side, and it's out of play. Well out of play.
Let me look that up.
Marcus Semien is now 1 for 3 with a single. He gets a single on this one. The runner's going to score on this. With runners in scoring position, batting .455 with 2 home runs and 16 RBIs.
That was a fantastic Ron Fairleyism right there.
What? And 16 RBIs.
No. You were like, well, with a runner on base, he's going to be looking to score. I'm like, well, I would think so.
Oh, Ron. Ron Fairley was, and much as he drove everyone crazy, he was still comedic relief.
Oh, dude, I was a big Ron Fairley guy.
Now we're looking at the 1-1, and how here is the pitch, and that is low for a ball. I guess Ron Fairley was the one I remember the most. Henderson, he was like all laid back. Dave Valley was like all jacked up like every single minute. And now we're looking at a 2-1. Here is the pitch. And now here's a liner and foul. Just barely missed it. And we'll try this again. And hopefully maybe that was a confidence killer on Marcus Semien. But it's Marcus Semien, so wouldn't bet too much on that. Oh, look at those seats in Texas. I like those. Except you won't be able to get the ball because you're behind the net. But you're very low, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you can see the screen, though. You probably can't. No, you can. I want to go to that stadium someday.
Oh, Globe Life.
Yeah. 2-2. And now here's a line drive, and that is going to get in the gap for a base hit. 1 run is going to score. I wonder if 2 runs are going to score on this one, and looks like it does not. We got a runner on third base, and now we got a 1-run game.
Yeah. And that's going to be it for Stanek.
I would think so, too.
Yeah. Service is coming out. In the division, since the 5-team division, the team that the Mariners have had the best success against has been, believe it or not, the Angels. The next is the A's, followed by Texas, then Houston.
Gabe Spire is now coming out from the bullpen.
Yeah, you figured that.
Stanek had a really tough game. Like, I didn't fault Service for putting in Stanek. It was just Stanek just didn't perform.
Stanek got 2 outs, and it's always that final out that's the hardest to come
toughest
by,
one to get.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, just a quick, we were talking about Garver. a little earlier today in the broadcast. He did sign a 2-year deal for $24 million. You're looking at about 12 million, and that's the average salary. But I think it's the base this year will be 9.5 because I think he had a $2 million signing bonus. So
I think he's going to probably. Mariners are probably going to eat the contract no matter what happens.
Yeah,
and
so
they'll
you're
still let him play.
The signing bonus is prorated, $1 million per year. This year 9.5, next year 11.5. So there you go. It's there's not going to be a scenario where they'll send him down to Tacoma. There won't be a scenario where they'll DFA him. They're going to give him at least this season, and then next season, they'll probably carry him as well too. I mean, this is the same organization that carried Sean Figgins for 3 years. So
2010, 2011, and 12. And I remember they really tried to make it work with Figgins when they made Figgins the leadoff hitter and then Ichiro the 3 hitter.
I remember that. Yeah.
That was a very weird lineup.
Next year, this offseason is going to be interesting because Mitch Haniger has an opt-out.
I wonder if he'd pick it up. Like, if he has an injury-filled season, he's probably going to pick up that. Like, does he have is it a team opt-out or is it a player option?
It's a player option. He has the ability to opt out. So I would probably assume that Haniger is going to opt in regardless.
Yeah, because he probably isn't going to get that kind of money again.
No. And it was only a 2-year deal that he signed, or a 3-year deal.
It's almost like the Mariners, in hindsight, should have just re-signed him.
100%. Oh, without a doubt.
Rather than getting Teoscar, who the man cannot play defense.
They should have, they traded for Mr. Teoscar, but they should have still re-signed Mitch.
At least play a DH role, and then that would have fixed the DH role immediately.
That's exactly right.
Now we're looking at Corey Seager is an 0 for 2 right now. He walked in the third. Gabe Spires got to really get out of this inning, working on a jam. Now here's the pitch, and fouled, and now that's that 1 strike to go. Feels like 10. Makes me nervous every single time. But he is 0 for 7 in the series, but he has an opportunity to erase all of that by... He has an opportunity.
Yep.
And now we're looking at the 1-2, and now here it is. And check swing. Did he go around? He did go around, and that's going to be strike 3. And that is going to retire the side, and Gabe Spire gets out of the jam.
Boom. And the wonder is if they're going to bring Spire out for the 8th.
I please do, because if it worked, at least on Seager, make it happen. Like, I don't care if it's a righty, let him pitch.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good against righties as well too. Quick note that obviously it would have been nice if they were to brought back Haniger after 2022, but I will say this: they saw something in Tommy La Stella that no other team in the league saw. That's got to count. They got to count for something.
It did.
By the way, Tommy La Stella hit 190 with a 292 OBP, a 238 slugging, and a 530 OPS, 2 RBIs, 4 hits, and 21 at-bats.
This is how much he gets out of me.
That's championship baseball right there.
Looking at Ichiro in 2012, when he was batting third, he batted 271, 305 OBP. He actually did better than his leadoff spot. But Mariners stunk anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, that was the 2012 was the year that he was traded to the Yankees. It's
for
funny
Danny
though.
Farquhar.
Yeah, Danny Farquhar. The funny thing is that year he hit 261 with a 288 OBP, 353 slugging, 642 OPS with Seattle. He gets traded to the Yankees. And he plays, he plays 67 games in pinstripes, hits 322, 340 OBP, 454 OPS, and a 794 OPS. And it's insane to think that Ichiro, I've heard that some people think that Ichiro tanked to find his way out of Seattle? I don't think so.
No,
I think it was just
he's
motivation.
not that kind of guy. It was just a bad, toxic situation.
For sure.
And when he goes to a winning situation in Yankee Stadium, what do you expect, right?
Right. The most underappreciated star the Mariners have ever had. I still to this day think that Mariners fans did not appreciate Ichiro.
You don't think so, huh?
No, because he wasn't your quote unquote slugging superstar.
No, of course he wasn't. And crazy thing is, the Mariners actually tried to get Ichiro during Griffey's prime back in '99, and they gave him a trial in spring training, but unfortunately he had a stomach bug, so that knocked him out. Here's the 1-1 to Clase. Like, it would have been cool. Like, imagine Ichiro in the Kingdome. He's getting 20 home runs no matter what he does. In a dome, no thick air.
Right, and a short porch in right field, the Kingdome, that Kingdome short porch. Right? That would have been something interesting, except, the 99 season, the Mariners didn't have any pitching.
So even if you added Ichiro, it wouldn't have mattered.
And I think they only played half the season in the Kingdome in 99.
They did.
Yeah, July 8th, right?
July 15th. Here's the 2-2. And strike 3 called. Down goes Clase. And now we got one down. Mariners have really got us get scoring.
What would have been sweet is if we had Ichiro in 97. That would have been sweet.
Too bad they didn't talk to him then. But the Japanese team, the Blue Ortics Blue Waves, they were very hell-bent on keeping him. I mean, it's Ichiro.
It's Ichiro. Yeah, but, that's here's Julio.
Julio Rodriguez, here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss. Mariners actually had an opportunity to get Shigetoshi Hasagawa, but they didn't want to pay for him. So the Angels did it. And
we ended up with Shiggy.
Kind of feel bad for him. He left the Angels for a winning situation, and the Angels won anyway.
Well, the crazy thing is that was another guy that seems to get lost in some of the best Mariner relievers. Shiggy was
good.
He was really good. And he was also part of one of the coolest Mariner commercials of all time, where the nicknames.
The nicknames. Randy Wynn. Hold on. Here's the 0-1. And
that's a cool nickname. Like Booney and Cammy and Shiggy.
That's right. And Shiggy. Randy Wynn. I got it. Yeah. Randy, win, lose, or draw. No. How about the wing behind my knees? How about win-win situation? How about Winnie the Pooh? No way.
Let's go with
Randinator.
Yeah, the Randinator.
Let's go with Winnie. No. And that Jeff Nelson in the background going, yeah, why not?
Yeah, Nelly, Cammy, and Shiggy. Yeah, and Shiggy.
Randy Wynn's just looking annoyed.
That was another good player for the Mariners. That was another guy that was underappreciated. I thought Randy Wynn was
just don't put him in center field again.
Yeah, for sure. But I like Randy Wynn.
Yeah, good hitting. He was good number 2 guy. 0-2. Fouled.
He's the only guy I can remember in recent history that was traded for a manager.
Yeah. And Lou Piniella said, so that's when the Mariners actually got a left fielder. He actually made that comment.
Yeah. Lou is golden.
0-2. Inside for a ball. And that's going to be a 1-2.
Yeah. Yeah, Lou had a lot of animosity out the door, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, they didn't give him they wouldn't up the payroll for him. Here's the 1-2. And swing and a miss, strike 3. And the one time they did quote up the payroll was in 95 to get Andy Bennis, but he was on his downside, so the Mariners got lucky with that. Vince Coleman was messed, so they got lucky with that. He was like on his last days, so it's not like the Mariners really made a splash. They just got insanely lucky with the trade. And the Jamie Moyer trade was considered lucky too, because Lou did not want to get rid of Darren Bragg. He actually liked him.
Sure. The crazy thing is that, and like if you think about it, Vince Coleman retired after 95. The raising the payroll, they just traded for veterans that were on veteran deals. I mean, Andy Bennis went on to.
He was on his last. Now here's the play, and that's a 1-2-3. Down goes Haniger. We're going to the
He,
bottom of the 8th. Let's hope they keep in Gabe Spire.
Yeah, he was a free agent after 95. Same with Tim Belcher, who I absolutely loved. Tim Belcher in his prime was a straight bulldog. Tim Belcher.
Remember
he was one of my favorite players.
And he's part of a 95 moment that no one talks about. After game 2, giving up the home run to Jimmy Larratt's, he exploded in the hallway, yelling at the cameraman.
Yeah,
and he broke a camera, I think.
Yeah, he pulled a Rick Vaughn.
He went, he went, get those mother bleeping cameras off me, mother bleepers. What kind of BS is that? You bleeping. All of you bleeping insane.
How would you feel? That game goes into extras. It's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning in New York. And then of all people, Jim Leyritz ends the game. Of all people to do it, it's Jimmy Leyritz. And I would be heated too. That dude
and with all the drama going on with the stadium, it's like, of course he exploded because he's like, well, where the hell am I going to go after? Or what the hell is this team going to be? Yeah. It was 100% justified, unfortunately. And then you see Lou popping. He's like, whoa, what did I miss?
The crazy thing is I actually talked with Jay Buhner about this in the past. And he was saying that on the plane ride home from New York down 02, Lou Piniella on the plane was saying, I don't want you guys to read too much in this because we're going to win this series. You know, Lou Piniella had the most confidence in his team, and that kind of like flipped the switch. And of course, they go back to Seattle and sweep the 3-game series in Seattle. Phenomenal.
It really was.
Yeah, Lou was like, I don't even want you guys to think anything into this. We're the better team, and we're going to win this series. And he just said it so matter-of-factly, and then guys were just kind of looking at him like, yeah, I think he's right. Let's just kind of put this behind us and get on. And
unfortunately, he tried to do that in 2001, and it didn't work. It almost worked. It actually almost worked because the Mariners did have the lead in Game 4 with that Brett Boone home run, and Paul Abbott actually was throwing a no-hitter. But he walked like 9 batters.
Yeah, but they had the better shot in 2000.
2000 should have been their winner. They have to go against Mike Piazza and the Mets. Whoop-de-doo. I'll take that over Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling and Luis Gonzalez hitting 57 homers. Easy choice right there.
I talked to I talked to Booney about the 2001 LCS because I noticed something that the Yankees were doing to their own field. They flooded the first base area and then tried to put diamond dry on top of it to kind of hide it. And the entire reason why they did that and flooded like that path to second base was to slow Ichiro down. And I said, was that legit? And he was like, yeah, the entire infield was muddy.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. They watered down the base paths to slow Ichiro.
Such dirty play. Here's a pitch and foul ball.
It's the Yankees. We found out a couple.
And again, if the Mariners did the same thing to like Houston, I'd be like, yeah, why not?
Well, we're talking about the Yankees who 2 years ago were caught using the juice balls the Major League Baseball was using for special games, and it turned out the Yankees were using juice balls all season long. It's the Yankees.
98 Yankees. Mark Langston should have gotten a strikeout on Tino Martinez, but they called the ball. Next pitch, boom.
Yep. It's when Major League Baseball, they want certain teams to represent.
And fouled. It
It
was scripted.
But
then again, what if anyone really expected the Padres of all team to actually pull that upset on 114? No.
The funny thing, and here we go.
We're looking at a 2-2. And now here is the pitch. And fouled again.
Like, if you were to tell me that the NFL is scripted and you came at me, not conspiracy theory, but, kind of came with me with your reasons, I would probably buy more into that than I would think that Major League Baseball is scripting. You know what I mean?
Oh, NFL scripts harder than anyone. Here's a 2-2. And now here's a ground ball. That's going to be a long ways to make up the throw to first. And it's in time. Good play by Urias, and we got one down. And I just
And
realized
I,
Gabe Spire is still pitching, so I'm happy about that.
and I don't necessarily think that the NFL is scripted, because you can't script for injuries and some of the other things. But I will say that it is kind of convenient that certain teams always seem to be in the championship game every single year.
Well, don't forget the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce boyfriend girlfriend thing.
Right.
It was just too perfect.
The thing with baseball is, if that was the case, the Dodgers would be in the World Series every year.
Yeah, baseball is like been least scripted, if anything, because we always see teams that we're not used to winning every year. Barry Bonds, that's an interesting name. Need the Mariners to score another point. It's another run.
I'll tell you what, Barry Bonds, to me, he's the home run king.
He is, and here's a fly ball bloop job, and Dylan Moore's calling it. He got it. Clase nearly ruined that one, and now we got 2 outs.
You can see Dylan Moore waving him off, and they're
like stop it, and then your eyes is still like, oh, I still got it. Thanks for the correction. Hey, that's what we're here for. And now, Barry, tell me about yourself. Tell me about what kind of a fan you are, what team you cheer for. Are you a Mariners fan, or are you a Giants fan? Are you a Barry Bonds fan?
Look at Ringo in the chat. I
don't care what anyone says. The Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl was very sus. I didn't even care about that Super Bowl. I didn't even like that they were scoring like all those points back and forth. I don't like those games. I like the games where it's like in the mid. It's not, offense is not exactly the best, but defense isn't either. Sometimes I don't know.
I'm a fan of the low scoring Super Bowls that come down to a field goal. You remember Bills Giants in 1991? That's my favorite type of Super Bowl.
That one, yes. Patriots and Rams 2001 was kind of low scoring, but it was a great game. I don't care what they say about the Spygate. It was still a fantastic Super Bowl.
Rams versus Titans.
Yes.
The Rams Titans Super Bowl. That was a great Super Bowl. I didn't. You know what? I got to admit, I didn't watch this last Super Bowl. I didn't care.
I watched the end of it. I didn't even care enough to do a live show on it.
Yeah. No.
Here's the 1-0, and that is fouled away. Generally haven't enjoyed a Super Bowl since '49. Yeah. If only Marshawn got the ball, or if at least Wilson just didn't throw it to Ricardo Lockett. If he at least threw it to Doug Baldwin and it was picked off, I actually still would have been okay with it, because at least the percentage of Doug Baldwin catching it would have been much higher than Ricardo Lockett, because Lockett is more of he's that kid that goes, go long or flyers up.
You know, the thing about it is, when you hear former players talk about that Super Bowl, everyone has the exact same opinion. They had a first down with 1 timeout left, and they're within
the second down.
Well, right. But what I'm saying is, they got the first down. They still had 1 timeout. And it's like, listen, you run the ball again, you take a timeout, or you run the ball again, and you keep on running it until Marshawn Lynch is in the end zone. And if you don't, that's fine. At least you lost with your best player carrying the football.
And we're looking at a 3-2, and this is Davis Wenzel. Looks like he's a pinch hitter.
Oh, and it also could have been a Seahawks dynasty. If they win that Super Bowl and beat the Patriots
would have been like the laughing stock of the entire league. And the Seahawks were on the verge of being the most hated. Here's the 3-2. And now here's a line drive just right above the head of Luis Urias. And that may be a second. No, he's going to stay at first.
Yeah, it's crazy. It would have been a Seahawk dynasty, back-to-back Super Bowls, and things dramatically changed the very next year. But once that happened, then you started hearing about infighting in the Seahawk locker room.
Yeah, and then they traded for Jimmy Graham, which was unnecessary, because then that just nuked the entire offensive line. And Jimmy Graham can't block either. You
traded Max Unger, who was your best offensive lineman, for Jimmy Graham, who you didn't even use in passing situations. You used him as a blocker. Well, you already had the blocking tight end, the former Raider.
Well, Miller was hurt, but they would have done better with Luke Wilson. He was a better blocker than Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous to get a guy like Jimmy Graham and then not use him as a receiver.
Yeah, they didn't use him well until like maybe 2016.
And even then,
he was still not good.
Ooh.
Here's the pitch. Now here's a fly ball popped up, and Dylan Moore is there once again, and that will retire the side. But please, Mariners, please get more runs.
You know, the crazy thing is Pete Carroll has a tendency to telegraph plays in the biggest moments. And if you remember back to the Trojans-Texans national championship game, not Texans, but Longhorns, in the Rose Bowl in 2006, he was running that same fullback dive with Lindell White. And in the biggest moment, he went back to it. And of course, you know, the Longhorns stopped him. And in that Super Bowl, he ran that slant play with Ricardo Lockett a couple times to success. And of course, you're going up against a guy like Bill Belichick who, you know, files some of these things away. And, you know, he dialed up the right, you know, the right defense at the right time. You know, that's my thing about Pete Carroll is, you know, sometimes he had a tendency to, you know, to telegraph what he's going to do in big moments. It was disheartening, man.
Which is why it was long overdue to have Pete Carroll leave. Like, we love the guy. I mean, we can't take away he got a Super Bowl, but it was like, it's time. It was just time. And hopefully Mike McDonald can build that legacy.
I thought it was time after the 2021-2022 season.
I was thinking of that too. Like, if you get rid of Wilson, then might as well get rid of Pete Carroll, start fresh. But
you can hopefully you can only ride a Super Bowl for so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't. Like, I forgot about. So I moved on from that Super Bowl, the one that the Seahawks won against Denver. Super Bowl 49 ruined it. I completely forgot. And I was like, no, I want to win another one just to undo this one. Nope,
you know,
they never did.
Super Bowl 48 will go down as arguably my favorite Super Bowl, because not only did we boat race the Broncos, but we silenced Peyton Manning in like the most embarrassing way possible.
And it was the most record-breaking offense in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
And they were held to 8 points.
And nobody was giving the Seahawks defense any credit.
They just try to say, "Oh, Peyton Manning choked."
No, yeah, it's like, no. To me, that will always go. And I always look back at that Super Bowl as absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, the very next year in the macabre way that they lost it. We're
looking at the 0-1. Now here's a ground ball right to second base, the throw to first, and it's in time.
And
my biggest regret from that Super Bowl 49 was not watching it with my best friend, who is a Patriots fan, and sometimes I wish we were there together to grab each other's throats. He would have laughed at my face. It was
such a macabre moment. It almost reminded me of, you know, it was very Cleveland Browns like. And if you remember the Browns from the late 80s and how they would lose games,
it was always bad. Now here's a ground ball, and that is out. The only one where I think that was actually preventable, the fumble, I didn't blame too much. The drive is like 98 yards. Like, how? Red Right 88, I think, was the most preventable, because all they had to do was kick a field goal. Yes, it was cold.
Right.
But even if it's cold, you're still kicking that field goal.
Right. And don't get me wrong. There are certain things, like if you're a team that dials up going it on fourth down all year, you can kind of understand it, but you were in field goal range, right? But, you know, I'll say this, that the drive, it was John Elway's coming out party fine, but the fumble, they always gave Ernest Biner a lot of crap for the fumble, minus the fact that the Cleveland Browns in the first half came out completely flat. Like, it shouldn't have come to the fumble.
It shouldn't have came to that point. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they were terrible in that first game.
3-0 count on Jorge Polanco. And Polanco has kind of been flat too. Like, we thought last week he was actually doing pretty well, and now he's pretty much just disappeared. I mean, he's not Colton Wong bad. He's still not Colton Wong bad. But it's not good.
Here's the thing, and I think a lot of fans need to calm down on attaching Colton Wong or Tommy LaStella to these type of. It's like, listen, man, baseball is a game of streaks. You're gonna have hot streaks. Right now, Cal Raleigh is in a hot streak. Julio last series was on a hot streak. That's what baseball is, and you're going to have as many ups as you will down. And right now, it's for a guy like Polanco, it's just pitch selection. It's not timing, it's pitch selection. Right now, he's just not making good decisions on pitches.
Now we're looking at 0 for 3 Polanco. So working on a full count. Here's the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Simeon. Throw to first, and it's in time. And buckle your seatbelts, everyone. We are going to the 9th inning with Munoz. Oh God, I think I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom before I piss myself.
You know what? I got a new nickname for Munoz. Are you ready?
Tell me after commercial break.
All right.
SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code RooftopSports to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you.
Yeah, definitely take advantage of SeatGeek. Get off your wallet. Let's not pretend here. A lot of you guys out there want to go see a sporting event, or maybe you want to go see a concert. Maybe you want to go see a comedy show. Whatever the situation may be, go to SeatGeek. Use the promo code.
All right, what's the nickname?
And you will get $20 off. This is not a hard decision. Get off your wallet. Go to SeatGeek. Use the promo code and go have a good time.
Or donate to this channel to take revenue away from the Mariners, because we just saw the Kraken. They just nuked the Mariners' revenue by going to King 5.
Yeah, but also I actually have some inside information on the Mariners and King 5. Maybe I'll talk about it. Maybe I won't. Anyway, so yeah, Andres Munoz. Okay, Andres Munoz. How do you like the name Andreas Ayala?
Who?
Remember Bobby Ayala?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, he's
Andreas
more. He gives me more Jose Mesa vibes. He does that same like routine where Jose Mesa's putting his left hand down, waiting for a signal. No, he pitches like Mesa because he has no control.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but it's like the reason why I call him Ayala is because he's a radical. He's a radical like Ayala.
He was, and Ayala, he was carried by one lucky season of '94.
Yeah, he at least he had one good season.
But nobody remembers that.
Yeah,
so the 01.
Yeah, the Kraken are leaving Root Sports for King 5 Kong. So they'll be shown locally on King 5 Kong and also Amazon Prime. So they got the local deal.
1-1. And that is fly ball popped up. And that is going to go to Polanco. And that is the one out. I would think if the Sonics come back, I also don't think, knowing that it's going to be the ownership for the Sonics is projected to be the same thing as the Kraken. So I don't think they will also be going to Root Sports. I think that's also going to be a King 5 Kong thing, or whoever in the locals are going to take them. Maybe Q13.
I would assume that prior to launching the Sonics, they would have a TV deal in place, whether it be streaming or local. But the big thing is that the Mariners still do have contracts with Comcast, which is why they have to 2 away.
Now here is right to Munoz. Good thing you spoiled it. Blazers are also considering to leave Root Sports as well.
Yeah, well, the Mariners still have to honor their current existing contracts with Comcast Xfinity, but word is that they are also talking with King 5, and to show games locally on King 5 Kong. So
hopefully, or at least go to YouTube TV and at least have that allowed to be there. Here's the pitch, and that is a ball.
And it makes sense. It makes sense for a lot of local viewers in the King County, Western Washington area to be on King 5 Kong.
And we're looking at the 1-0. And now here is the pitch. And that is a ball. It's a shame that how the Mariners really handled Root Sports. They absorbed all of that. And then next thing you know, everyone's leaving.
Well, there's a lot of employees at Root Sports right now that are wondering whether or not they're going to be able to have a job mid-season.
2-0. Foul ball. Yeah, if I were those people, find something fast.
Yeah, so the Mariners right now are looking at local TV stations to find an outlet for games, and
it's crazy to think that Root Sports could actually be like just gone. Here's a 2-1.
Boom!
Here's a ground ball, and that should do it. The throw to first, and it's in time. And the Mariners have won the series. They now take 2 of 3. A 1-2-3 effort by Andres Munoz. He gets a pass out of me on this one.
Yeah, you know what?
Runs by Ty France and Luis Urias carried the team.
I'll say this, man. Andreas Ayala, he had a good outing. Good for him.
Andreas Jose Mesa.
Yeah, this was a big series win. This is your chief division rival. And after the first series, after the first win of the series, they went up a half game, and of course they dropped back yesterday, and now they're back above 500, one game above 500, and I do believe back in first place. So these are the early type of series wins that you absolutely need to really start getting your season in motion. And the ability to go down to Texas in a place where it's been a house of pain. Let's not make any mistake. The Seattle Mariners do not play well down in Texas, and to be able to take advantage, take 2 out of 3, this is absolutely huge. And now your reward is the defending National League champions. So
going to play against the Arizona Diamondbacks to host Eugenio Suarez. And before we even talk about that, let's just go right to the box score. And as you can tell, this is already our post-game show. Happened pretty much immediately. So let's go to the box score. Julio Rodriguez played very well, 2 for 4. Mitch Haniger struggled 0 for 4. It just wasn't his game. Cal Raleigh, who was on fire, he finally cooled off, going 0 for 4. Ty France did hit the home run. So yes, he did 1 for 4, but he still hit the home run, which is a huge key part of the game. Jorge Polanco went 0 for 4, but he did have a good defensive play. It was a near bloop single, but he caught it, so I guess I'll give him a pass. Then Dylan Moore went 1 for 3. He was valuable to the team with great defense, with the exception of that bobble at shortstop. Then Mitch Garver, 0 for 3. Didn't really do much. Luis Urias went 1 for 3 with that home run. Jonathan Clase, 0 for 3. Didn't really do much either. Luis Castillo, on the other hand, he pitched okay. His first few innings was very erratic. He gave up the 2 home runs, had a few innings of being in a jam, but he got out of it. He had 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. Stanek struggled. He did get those 2 strikeouts, so he had the 2 easy outs. Then he gave up 2 hits, gave up a run, but then Gabe Spire bailed him out with a strikeout, and he pretty much was lights out in the very next inning. And then Andres Munoz pitched 8 pitches to get a save. So he basically did nothing, which is good. He didn't have to do much to get that save. And I was going to say, usually, his biggest bugaboo is location. He has a tendency when he can't locate the fastball and he gets behind in counts. He has a hard time getting back into counts, and as we've seen in previous appearances, he has the ability to walk guys and get himself in a terrible jam. But today it was very good location on his pitches. He was able to get the ground ball. He was able to get the pop outs. I was actually quite happy for Andreas Ayala to get that save tonight. But I will say this: the thing about Castillo is that he was coming off a very, very good start in his last appearance. And of course, because of the rain delay and of course of the doubleheader, I think he was pushed up a day. You're right. Outside of the couple home runs, what was key for this is that he didn't allow himself to get caught up in the moment. He was able to put that behind him, and he was able to go 6.
And outside of those, he didn't have the big inning. That's the thing that I like about Luis Castillo. For me, that's what makes Castillo such a good pitcher, is like when he has those type of moments. In some of his other starts that we've seen, it gets away from him, but typically he has the ability to fight back and get back into the ball game. And he did a beautiful job of doing that today.
He absolutely did. And now he is 2-4, considering he had an 0-4 start.
Mm-hmm.
So he is starting to rebound back in his ways. He's kind of having a reverse start, because last year he was undefeated in the first month, and then he pretty much went streaky and fell apart. But now it's the opposite way. And then the scoring summary, we shall go over that. First inning, Ty France, 2-run homer. Nathaniel Lowe then hit a home run. Then Josh Smith tied the game with a home run. Now make it 2-2. And then Luis Urias, he broke the tie out of nowhere, hitting a home run, which also scored in Dylan Moore, who also got on base. Then Marcus Semien singled, which led to Texas scoring 4-3. But after that, bullpen was lights out after that, and they could not be stopped, thankfully. And taking a look at the standings, I'm pretty sure, I do believe the Mariners are now in the division lead. They just updated it. Seattle is now 13-12, Texas 13-13. So now there's a half game lead.
Yep.
Angels are now falling apart, 3-7 in their last 10, along with Oakland and Houston. So hope if it was September now, maybe hopefully this could be an idea of what it could be, unless Houston can come back and actually pick up some ground, which I still expect them to do because it's the Houston Astros. But unless they fix that bullpen, I don't know. But until then,
the thing about it is the Houston Astros, I believe they just got Verlander back, and they're going to get Lance McCullers back. I have a feeling that rotation in Houston's going to even itself out, and Houston will get back on track. And until Houston is mathematically eliminated, they're the team that continue. 7 straight years of getting to the least of the ALCS. You can't count them out. You can't count them out at all. I will say this though, that the Angels are the Angels, but the team that I have my eye on in this division that I think is going to hurt some teams this year, I think it's going to be the Oakland A's. Do I think that they're going to make the playoffs? No, I don't. I just don't think they have the talent. But what I will say is they've been impressive so far in April, and they have they're going to have a tendency to win series that a lot of people think that they won't, and that includes against the Mariners as well too. So last year the A's were that team that team where you get right. They were the get right team, what I like to call it. It's like when you're scuffling a little bit and you got a 3-game series against the A's, now all of a sudden you can get right and sweep the A's and get back in the right direction. I don't think that's going to happen this year.
And speak of, I looked at the score because Sleepy just informed us that the Chicago Cubs just defeated the Houston Astros. Now they're 7-19. They are just absolutely off to a bad start. So this is why it feels really good that the Mariners are taking advantage of it, because Mariners, they were given so much mercy at the start of this season. Like the way they were playing, like if they were doing it like last year, division would pretty much been out of reach at that point, as we would have felt. But now, because of bad starts by Texas and Houston, Mariners were fortunately able to take advantage of other teams' struggles, and taking 2 out of 3 against Texas, considering that last year they lost 6 in a row in Texas, which included Brian Wu just getting absolutely shelled, and Mariners getting swept in their last 10 games against Texas in Texas.
I will say this, that the key for me in this season specifically is that being in first place and on April 25th doesn't matter to me. The reality is, for this team to really have a shot at the division. Now, mind you, the Mariners are half game up in first place, and that's still with Julio not really hitting all that well, with Mitch Garver not hitting well, with Polanco not hitting well, with Haniger not really hitting well, and yet this team still is in first place. And the thing for me is, if they can keep this pace till the end of July, where we get to trading deadline time, If they can keep themselves within anywhere between 3 to 5 games of first place and still being in that wild card, being in the wild card, this team is going to have a very good shot at winning this division come August, come September. One thing that they have to, and that's the best part about having a pitching staff like the Mariners is I think they're going to be able to avoid the long losing streaks. But the thing about it is it has to stay consistent from series to series. And that means they can't, that's the thing. It's like last year, there was a in the midseason, they would always alternate series wins and series losses and series wins and series losses. Sometimes they would drop a couple series, and they can't afford to have that type of pace this season. You know what I mean? In order for them to realistically do this, they're going to have to take advantage of the schedule against teams that they know that they're beating, which is also not playing down to their competition against the teams like the Royals or the teams like the Rockies or a team like the A's. They have to be able to do that, and they also have to be able to play aggressive against the teams that are quote unquote going to be playoff teams. The Rangers are one of them, and they have to do better than what they did this series. I know they won the series, but when you look at the game one victory and today, their runs came via the long ball.
They did. I mean? They did. They got a little bit lucky.
That's exactly right. And they're going to have to be able to generate offense outside of the long ball. And as we saw last night, you get a leadoff triple, and that's your only run of the game. You can't rely on the home run. If you're really serious about this division, you're going to have to find different ways to generate offense, and it can't just be with the long ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully the Mariners going forward hopefully they will go up against the Arizona Diamondbacks well, and that's going to be a team that has Eugenio Suarez returning to Seattle. And right now, Diamondbacks are 2-14, so they're off to a little bit of a flat start. But let's take a look and see who they've got. So they've got George Kirby. He's going to be the pitcher tomorrow against Zach Gallen. That's what they're saying.
So they're skipping Hancock. I thought it was going to be Hancock tomorrow.
I saw that too. So we're not really sure at this point. But I did see Hancock's name on it. But ESPN, I guess they're off.
Yeah, because I thought it's going to be Hancock tomorrow. So they moved up Castillo to today, and for the series win. So now I think they're having Hancock tomorrow, and I think that's possibly going to be his last start in the Mariner rotation for right now, versus Gallen. And and that's going to be an interesting matchup because Zach Gallen is a very I think one of the best pitchers in the National League. The good news is that it's at home. So you're going to have the crowd. And I think Hancock pitches much better on the road. Much better at home than he does on the road, which is probably why they bumped him to tomorrow. This is going to be a very interesting series considering regardless of what the Arizona Diamondbacks record, they are the reigning National League champions, and they do have a very good team. And it's, by the way, and it's not just Eugenio Suarez's return to Seattle. It's also
Paul Sewald. And I would think that once we see those two guys, once we see Eugenio Suarez up to the plate, he's going to get a standing ovation. There's no doubt he's going to get one. I think he does.
Yeah.
I think he will get a standing ovation. And Paul Sewald, I also expect to get a standing ovation. Well, maybe depending on the situation. If Mariners are kind of losing and the momentum's down and they feel like they got to do something, have something to cheer for, they'll cheer for Sewald. But then once we go to the Atlanta series, Jared Kelenic up to the plate, he's going to be rained with boos.
I think he's going to get booed. By the way, let me ask you this question. Okay.
Go ahead.
If you had the opportunity, right, for the Mariners to get one of two players back, Suarez or Sewald, who would you take?
Given what's going on right now, I'm going to take Sewald back because I want that closer back because at 100%. Least Urias. And now is this with a hindsight? Is this with now going on or before the season started? Now, if season started, we'd have been no, give me Suarez back.
No. I'm talking about right now. Right
Oh,
now with
right now it's
everything that's
Paul
on. Yeah,
Sewald, no
so
question,
Paul
because he's
Sewald.
a lights out closer.
100%. 100%. I'm with
Like
you.
at least Urias and Rojas have been able to fill in pretty much
Yeah.
admirably. And they're at one point their wins above replacement when you combine both of them was actually doing more than Suarez. And Suarez has actually gone back to his strikeout ways.
Yeah.
He does drive
Oh,
into runs, but he's
yeah. I mean,
still it's about the same. So it's been about tied of
when you
how
when
who's
you
been better.
I was gonna say, because like when you put up the platoon splits of Urias and Rojas compared to what Suarez is putting out by himself, Rojas and Urias have been better for the Mariners than Suarez. And there was no, a lot of Mariner fans were like, well, especially when they got off to a bad start, and Suarez got off to a pretty decent start. They're like, see, and I'm like, yeah, but imagine Suarez in this Mariner lineup.
It
You know what I
still would
mean?
have probably not been much different.
It would not have been much different.
Same with Teoscar. The ones that annoyed me the most when it was like, we should have kept Teoscar Hernandez, but even if he did have that offensive production, his defense still would have made me forget about it.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like if Teoscar were still back in a Mariner uniform, he would still be whiffing on sliders low and away. I mean,
There's been the same exact thing. It's just how they're coached.
People need to understand the reason why Teoscar was so deadly in Toronto is because you're playing in a hitter's park. You're playing in a Homer Dome in Toronto, and you're being protected by Bichette and Vlad Jr. And so now he goes down to LA again, hitter's park, and now he's protected by Shohei Ohtani,
Freddie Freeman,
Mookie Betts, and it's like, yeah, of course he's going to hit, because they're not worried about Teoscar. He's not the focal point of the offense, so they're not going to pitch around him. Of course he's going to hit. It's like, dude, it's like it's critical thinking has to be taken into effect when you're starting talking about certain guys. So,
and I'm guilty. I remember when I freaked out when Kelnick and Suarez were off to a great start, and I did make a YouTube short about it, but that was basically just to throw shade at John Stan. That was really it.
Well, the thing about it is, it's like I might buy into Teoscar Hernandez, considering that he's had complete seasons before. He's had very good complete seasons from start to finish, right? So it's like when you have a down year, you're more likely to say, well, he's turning the corner. A lot of people, like that phrase, it's is attributed to ball players. Hey, well, they've turned the corner and they've gotten over whatever they need to get over. But a guy like Jared Kelnick, who has yet to complete a full season in Major League Baseball, he has never done that before. And it's like, well, you can't say that he's turned the corner until he proves, number one, that he can stay healthy for an entire season, but also number two, stay in the lineup the entire season and not try to figure a way to get out of it. And then also be productive from start to finish. Then you can say that. But until Jared Kelnick can prove those two things to me, he hasn't. Like, I don't care what he does. Like, he hasn't turned the corner in my eyes.
He hasn't really done much quite yet, and it looks like we are going to be close to ending at least the post-game portion of the show. All we can say is hopefully the Mariners can win the series against not only the Diamondbacks, but also the Braves to end strong in April. And by doing that, if you take 2 out of 3 on both of those series, let's take a look and see how many wins that will mount up. Mariners will actually have a 17 and they'll have a 17 wins month, which is actually
they'd be 17 and 14, right? If they take
something like that. And that would still be considered a fantastic start, considering how they started in the early parts of April when everything was all panic and all hell went loose.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, like, to me, that Brave series is the biggest series of the homestand, because again, it's the Atlanta Braves, former World Series champions, prohibitive favorites in the NL East, and I'm not overlooking the Diamondbacks. Of course, you have to look at the opponents that's right in front of you, take it one game at a time, and I think that the Mariners will take 2 out of 3 at least from the Arizona Diamondbacks, but again, they got off to a bad start and they're kind of scuffling a little bit. And so for me, you would expect a sweep, right? Going into that Brave series. That series against the Braves is going to tell you all you need to know about the 2024 Seattle Mariners. Is this team's identity heart? Do they have heart? That was the best part about the 2021 Mariners, is that they showed a lot of heart that season. You know what I mean? That was probably that was probably my favorite thing about the 2021 season, because when you counted them out, they always came back and they showed a lot of guts. So the question is what's the identity of the 2024 season? What do you want your fans to know about you? Do you show up and do you fight, or do you roll over to Major League Baseball's heavies? We'll find out.
We will find out. And looks like that will end the post-game portion of the show. And let's get to the comments before we go. And before I got to post a post-game show, let's take a look and see how far it went. Sleepy mentioned that the Astros lost. Yes. Biggest concerns is Dodgers in the World Series. We have to make the playoffs first, and then you can talk.
Well, I'll say this, Ringo, that if you're worried about the Dodgers in the World Series, just remember that they haven't been to a World Series since 2020, and that was the COVID short year. And I don't like, it's like the Lakers winning in the bubble. You know, it's like, does it count? I don't know. But I will say
I would have counted it. Hey, and then here's another challenge. Here's my counter question. If the Mariners who missed the playoffs by 2 games,
I would count it. If the Mariners won the bubble.
So I won't put asterisks on that, but
here's the thing.
Yeah.
I was going to say, no, I'm 100% complete hypocrite about this, because if the Mariners won the 2020 World Series in a shortened season, yes, 100% I would count it. Of course
everyone would have counted it.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, but the point was that last year the Dodgers were the prohibitive favorites and they got bounced in the divisional series. So until the Dodgers get to a World Series, let's kind of pump the brake. Let's go ahead and
pump the brakes and not think about it so much. Yeah. And also, Dodgers manager is Dave Roberts, who's basically National League Scott Service. So that's what I want, though. I do want to see Dodgers versus Mariners, just so I can brand it as the battle of the idiots. Between
like who's the best of two mediocre managers?
Yes, who can who is going to outstupid the other?
Yeah, who's going to make the decision that ultimately leads to a loss 100%?
Yeah, exactly. Another Astros loss. Yep. Yeah. Astros 7-19. They're done. They're not done. This is just April. And we've seen teams that have had bad starts. We even saw early 2000s Yankees that got off to bad starts and they made up for it. So I would not count them out. And even if the Astros are on pace to lose 100, still got to take each series seriously against them.
Well, and then also you have to remember, just back to last year, the Astros didn't get off to a great start last year either. We're dealing with injuries early on, and they kept plugging away. And then by the time they hit June, by the time they hit July, all of a sudden they were winning series and slowly getting back into contention. So again, and that's, the Astros are champions. I mean, the Astros there's a reason why they continue to be in the ALCS every single year for 7 straight years, because they figure out a way to win.
They always do. And let's take a look at some more. Our pitching is that good. Offensive struggles, losing big players. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. This was the Rojas who would rather have. He'd rather have Rojas. Sewell got shelled in the World Series. I mean, when you're playing Texas, what do you really expect?
Also, all right. Well, let me back this up to 2022, because I think Sewald also had a rough outing in the divisional series against the Astros. In that divisional series. And I'm not saying that he's not a postseason performer, because we know he's a postseason performer, because before he got to the World Series last year, he was absolutely lights out in the playoffs. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like you're pitching in the World Series for the very first time, and sometimes the lights might be bright, and this is a learning experience for him. But the key part about this is that he was in a World Series, something that the Mariners have yet to experience.
Have yet to do. So, yeah. And if we could do it again, that Robbie Ray decision shouldn't have happened. Sewald should have been allowed to at least finish it, especially if it's the closer. He should have been allowed to finish that. And I thought it was knee jerk that after a hit, it was like 2 outs, and they
yeah.
give up a hit, and then Scott
And then
Service just freaks out
and then brings in Robbie Ray for
have Yordan Alvarez.
Yeah.
And if Scott Service went on these stat websites that we do all the time and saw that, Yordan hits against lefties, well, okay, Seawald, you're good.
And by the way, that's when the Mariners lost that series.
They lost because of that. And
well, no, I mean, when you look at it, they were up in that game, and had they won that game, it changes the entire complexity of that series. But it was a deflating loss. It like those type of losses where you're in the lead and you lose in that kind of macabre fashion. It literally takes the wind out of your sails, and the Mariners were not able to recover. And then, of course, Game 3, when you go 18 innings, basically you basically have 2 9-inning sets, and they can't scratch out a run.
Says a lot. Yeah, they were pretty much just gassed at that point, and mentally gassed. Right, 2 years ago with the Mariners in the playoffs, love him, but no, I still love Paul Sewell. I would still take him back. Teo has above average numbers. He was a payroll cut. Yes, that is true. And actually, I think even with good ownership, I still think they would have let him loose. He wasn't
a payroll cut considering he was a free agent. He was finishing out the final, because you have to remember, he was still within his first 6 years of major league service. And last year was his walk year. So he was a free agent. The only thing that I guess you can say that I had a problem with was that they didn't offer him a qualifying, they didn't tender him a qualifying offer. And I think the Mariners were worried that he would accept it. So
let's take a look next. We take 2 of Freeland Braves. Yeah, we talked about that, but Diamondbacks is first. And then tired of hearing about the Astros series and Ray got swept and won World Series. They're obviously a better team, but we'll still maintain that there was still a chance. That's all we can say. There was still a chance.
Well, listen, it's not the reason why that always gets brought up for 2 reasons. Number one, it was the Mariners' first taste of the postseason since in 20 years, right?
2001, yeah.
Yeah, but the reality was that there were some decisions that have had a lasting impact. So it gets brought, brought up. So
those decisions are still being made today. So it's not like Scott never really learned from that. And when you listen to him in that post-game show, in that post-game press conference, he goes, "Oh yeah, it's okay. These things happen." I'm like, "No, you gotta take responsibility for the decisions you made," and he wouldn't.
Yeah, and that's one of my biggest bugaboos is the fact that it's always like this weird Mariner spin where it's like even in losses you're trying to find the positive, and it's like, listen, man, accountability is a very big thing. And I will say this, like, if you pretend that your fans are stupid and that they think they're going to eat this positivity up and buy into your spin, then that's such a detriment. Had he just came out and said, you know what, I wanted to go lefty, it was a mistake.
It just didn't work out.
The fans would not be second guessing him at all. You know what I mean? Like, had he just manned up in that moment, I don't think Scott Service would have the vitriol that he has right now from the fans. But
the sad thing is we're still the minority. Like, the majority still buys into him. And I remember when I was on Facebook, after that loss, half the fans are like, "It's just one game, we'll be okay." It's like, yep, you haven't seen that proves that you hadn't seen playoff baseball in Seattle for 20 years.
Or you just haven't watched baseball. Like, that's the thing. It's like baseball. I know a lot of people don't buy into momentum. They don't think momentum in baseball is a real thing, but it really is. Like, there's a reason why streaks extend. Like, the Mariners had a 14-game winning streak a couple of years ago. Streaks extend, and that's because you're able to carry momentum game after game after game, and it works. It works the same thing with losing streaks, man. It's the small things that can unravel anything. And after the high of the Texas wild card, the Mariners came into that division series with a lot of momentum against a team that was their arch rival, and they had a big lead in that game.
It was 7-2. Yeah. And Ringo, I know, okay, we'll stop.
No, I mean,
we hear you.
It wasn't Ray's or Service's fault. Now let me understand. Let me see if I can track this. So number one, Scott Service takes out his closer, who is actually very good against left-handed pitching. And if Jordan goes deep against Seawald, at least you're going with your best. So that's number one. So Service makes a knee-jerk reaction to go lefty on lefty, and then Robbie Ray was the one that threw the pitch.
And I actually felt bad for Robbie. I didn't even blame him 100% on that either. I actually don't blame Robbie Ray because he was put into a situation, and but Service should have known to not put him in.
But he still threw the pitch, though.
He did throw the pitch, but it's something that someone should have foreseen that.
But why can't we just call it like it is? Like it was a mistake. And that's okay, because that's baseball. You're not going to be perfect every single outing or in any situation. Mistakes will be made. Why is that so hard for people to say? Like, it's okay. It's a learning experience. Like, you're supposed to get better for it. What's wrong with holding players and coaches accountable?
Well, in Seattle, that's a foreign thing to do. And anyone who does that, if you dare to do that, you're canceled. Yeah, you'll not get, your algorithms will get messed up by the big boys of YouTube.
And by the way, this is what I think about your go ahead. Like it is what it is. Like, do you think I worry about what other people think or about my baseball takes? It's like, whatever, man, that's cool. And I'll keep moving on, and it's not the end of the world. But that's the thing. I mean, get used to it, because that's what I do. I hold people accountable when they need to be held accountable, and I'll give them praise when they do well.
We did. We gave them praise for winning this series against Texas.
Yeah,
granted,
absolutely.
Yes, it was a little bit lucky, but they still got the W. Munoz actually surprised me with his save.
Like when Urias hit the 2-run home run, that's all it took. And you know what? That's what I like to call clutch. When you can come up in a moment like that and put your team up with a 2-run bomb, that's clutch.
And Urias' 2 home runs were clutch. The other one was against Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's clutch.
It really was. Well, that's going to do it. I think I got to get going. I got to work on these videos, and
he's got work.
Got work. And I got work at late afternoon, so I got things to do. But everyone else, thank you for being on this show, considering a game where everyone's on their day jobs. You guys showed up. Thank you for $5 worth of donations. I definitely appreciate that. I'll be back tomorrow for the Mariners and Diamondbacks game, and we will see if the Mariners do step up against the reigning National League champions, Arizona Diamondbacks. Well, that's going to do it. And Steve, thank you for being on this show as well.
Absolutely. Go Mariners. Let's get the sweep against the Diamondbacks. And of course, if you want to talk baseball, you can always find me on X at Swinging Pod, where you can also find the podcast Swinging for the Fences. Go ahead and check it out. And if you see it on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button.
Do it. And everyone, have a great afternoon, and go Mariners.
Go Mariners.